And there we go. We should be live. So the first day of the new update is now going on. We've been having a chance to try out the new vehicles, find some new bugs, find some new features. And today I mostly will be playing these two ships. Unless somebody wants me to play something else. I'll try and quickly go over all the new stuff in this update. Although nothing much has really changed compared to the dev server. So I'll just quickly go over them. So of course we have the Des Moines, which you already know, just an anti-air, well a better anti-air refit compared to the Newport News. Snazzy camo on it. Nevada coming after Wyoming. There's Upsy. Being an anti-air refit of the predecessor class to the Arizona. The armor is pretty much the same, the main guns also perform the same with the same reload. They are the same guns. But yeah, better anti-air armament. Then we have... oh, Nicholas. That isn't fixed. What got changed and is just armor values. But it still has the big ol' ammo rack above the waterline for the second turret. That vulnerability is still there. Also, I'm going to turn down the music a bit, because that's very loud in my ears. Come on. Nope, that's sound effects. There we go. Yeah, no, the Newport News is still as vulnerable, and so is Des Moines. But I think armor values got changed. But nothing substantial enough, really. Also, that 147mm belt isn't all that's that's quite thick. I don't know what the old armor values were, so I don't really have anything to compare it to. Let me tell you, I will be playing these destroyers for the most part today. And I'll look into them a bit more in depth in a separate video, but no, they don't have an anti-air shell for the main guns. Neither do the 37s. 37s? Oh, yeah, it's the Airglass 37s. I think the Grid Trien has 75s. But yeah, then they just went over the Americans. The Germans get the Pile, or the Arrow, which is just a Brave Border but with all 70 Bofors. The British do get some interesting stuff with the Terranova, which is a neat little frigate, but it only has VT for the main guns, which is pretty bad. So that's going to be not that fun of a frigate. Also Premium Whitby, which is just Blackpool but premium. Then we have the French ships, but I'll get to them in a second. Japan gets the Nohi, of course. Yes, the cruiser camos did make it alive. I'll get to that in a second. Yes, the Japanese got an Nohi, nothing too special. And the Italians got the Duilio, which is a pretty cool looking battleship for them. So this is basically an Andrea Doria, but with bored out guns and a reconstruction. It's not even a refit, it's just a reconstruction, because they got a new bow. And they just built a new bow on top of the old bow. Also some, yep, solid shells. And these triple turrets here with 135s also get anti-air shells. So this is a very promising looking battleship. These are 90mm guns with a decent fire rate. Kind of poor traverse speed though. But this is definitely a ship I'm going to try and get to relatively quickly. And then, of course, we have probably the main two ships you want to look at for naval, the Aigle and the De Guitry. Also, just 1 second. Okay. I don't think the Dulio should be a 7-0. It just doesn't really have the firepower for it. But it's a very cool looking battleship and definitely one I want to try and get soon. But yeah, Aigle and De Guitry. Or De Guitry. Something like that, it's French. The Aigle. I don't really know how to say this, but I quite like the Aigle. I've only played one battle in both ships. Aigle is pretty good. Traverse speed of the main guns is pretty slow, but the guns are punchy. And the reload rate isn't that bad at 6.5 to 5 seconds. That's a perfectly fine destroyer reload. It's a bit on the slower side compared to the Americans, but that's perfectly fine. It does, however, have very slow traverse speeds, 5 degrees a second. It is a pretty fast destroyer though. Because that stat card is lying. I managed to get this thing up to 71 kilometers an hour in battle. That is also a quick disclaimer I have to make. Both of these ships, I think something's wrong with them. They seem to not be quite complete. In terms of bugs, in terms of stuff. Oh, no, this is now default. This is just part of the update. The colored components. Red is everything to do with armament. Blue is anything to do with like spotting devices and stuff like that. Like optics. Yellow is just internal fuel tanks and extra things. Green is engines. I don't actually know what that is. That's that lighter yellow. But yeah, that's just default. These are now default. These are just switched on. I quite like them. You can easily distinguish modules now. They have the same for tanks. Hold on, do we have a tank lineup at already? No, that's not one. I have a tank lineup somewhere in here. Let's actually go to the tank lineup one. There we go. I think tanks should have it as well, yeah. It's just a new thing of the X-ray views. But back to France. Hello there, Thunder. And welcome to the stream. But yeah, Aigle, pretty alright. She also gets 3 respawns in the battles. So you can always just play Aigle for a full battle. De Guitry should have 3 respawns as well, according to her pre-order pack, but she doesn't. As well as a few other bugs. And now that we're talking about De Guitry, let's actually take a closer look at it. So, main guns, 155mm. They rotate pretty slowly, but yeah. Rate of fire is not too shabby, although it does feel kind of slow for this BR. If I actually look at the cruise skills, because that'll tell you more. I reload between 13 and 10 seconds. Not a bad reload. However, some things about the ship do not make sense to me. Mainly if you look at the shells. So you have regular high explosive, fine. You have a shell called HETF, which is not HETF, it's a base fuse high explosive shell, not an anti-air shell. And I want you to take a close look at the fuse delay of the base fuse high explosive. 0.015 seconds. The semi-armor piercing has a shorter fuse delay. Which, in my experience, makes it so that you actually want to use the base fuse high explosive against destroyers instead of the semi-armor piercing. But again, I'll be playing it in battle and I'll show it to you there. Actually, what is their fuse sensitivity? 7 and 7, so yeah, same fuse sensitivity. This ship used the BF shells, the base fuse shells. I haven't actually tried the high explosive, but I won't try it anyways. High explosive doesn't do much against bigger destroyers. Anti-air is really solid for the ship. However, you don't get any time of use shells for the 75, so just normal high explosive. So yeah. Also, what I forgot to mention on the Aigle, and I'll show you now on the De Guettrin. The De Guettrin actually has pretty good ammo magazine placements. Like, she won't get detonators from direct fire at all. Aigle, rear magazine is very close to the waterline. And also, this is a secondary magazine, but also the main magazine is just poking above the waterline. So the Aigle is detonatable from the front. Which is definitely something you'll run into. Other things, if I reach the pat, there's nothing else that really pops to mind immediately. Or if I now read the patch notes at least. Let's take a closer look again. I haven't actually been in a situation where I have to use the Aigle's anti-air. Let me actually see where are the 37s. That's a 2-second reload. So like, imagine the German anti-air 37s. I think these are probably pretty similar. There's dual 13 mils over there. And a dual 37 mount here. It only has one dual 37 mount. No, it has two. No, it has one. It has one dual 37, two singles on either side. I'll get to that trick, but I'll get to it. I'm just gonna look through the official patch notes first. Of course, when I go, let's actually go to a ship I have to research. Not customization, modification. These 3 modules no longer need to be researched in sequence. That's nice. Dulio stronger than Fuso? No, hell no. Dulio is not stronger than Fuso. Fuso has 14-inch guns. Dulio has 12.5-inch guns. And less of them. I think Dulio is still a pretty solid battleship, especially for Italy. It's 6.7, and I think it sits well at 6.7. From just first impressions. Okay. Oh yeah, I was going to showcase camos. Yeah, the camo thing did actually make it to the live server. Which is a very light green. This kind of stuff. And the requirements? 189,000 and 270,000 is a pretty high requirement. But at the same time, if you have good matches, you can get it in a reasonable amount of time, really. It's something you have to grind towards. Also, actually, I'll double check my Japanese battleships to see their requirements. Fuso. No, it hasn't. It has no. It didn't keep track of your previous damage. Yeah, 364. That is. I mean, for a battleship, that's easier to get that amount of damage, I guess. It's just something you have to grind towards slowly but surely, or you just buy with Golden Eagles. But it is pretty cool. Now, it can't be an update without something breaking for Naval, sadly. But there is some good news. I've been hearing from people that the HE bug is supposedly less bad now. Also not completely gone. Who knows? But the bad news is ammo elevators. If you lose your ammo elevator now, your guns don't reload. Period. It used, like in the previous update, if you lose your ammo elevator, your guns have a reload penalty. But now when you lose the ammo elevator, you cannot reload the guns. Which is not fun. That is a change I don't like, and I don't know why it wasn't in the patch notes. Hopefully it's just a bug that will get fixed, and I shouldn't be hitting into my mic. But yeah, I'll probably best showcase that in an actual battle. So let's do just that and start with the French ships. I did play, as I said, I played one battle with this quote-unquote lineup, and in a defeat that is a pretty average battle for that BR, I managed to get 100,000 SL. So that was pretty fun. Like, all in all, I don't... these ships are alright. Oh, that too trick, yeah, that the Deguet doesn't reload the first order ammo rack, that's right. I forgot about that already. It's really... The Deguet is really weird when it comes to her reload, because on paper, 13 to 10 seconds, that's alright. But I've had situations where my reload was as long as 30 seconds in the Deguet. Invisible torps as well, thank you for reminding me, Trick. That the I'll showcase that with the aggro when I spawn it in. But yeah, no 3 spawns for the Deguet, even though that was advertised on the pack, which is a bit odd. Probably should be changed. Also, again, these are not time fuse shells. Before you get confused, these are base fuse high explosive shells, not time fuse shells. Full up tier, lovely. Yeah, the thick smoke. I kind of like it. Like, especially if you look at enemy ships, it just looks better from a distance. I have one complaint though, and that it makes it impossible to see anything in a close quarters engagement. Also, I'm going to just put my game audio a bit quieter. Like that. Maybe put my speech, yeah, that then as well. There we go. And I want to turn in more. Moffat be damned. Let's get guns on target. Especially the rear gun. There we go. Gun velocity isn't all that bad either, by the looks of it. It is also just horribly in front. That's a bit loud. Oh, it's already as low as possible. I'm not entirely sure if touché is the correct translation for hit. But I'm not native French speaker, so I don't know. I do like the French naval crew lines, they sound very nice. Good enough for me to understand, at least. Let's hope we can actually get close to the battlefield anytime soon. But yeah, as you can see, I fired a few shells and I don't think actually... Let me fire another salvo and see if my Ready Rex reloads. Yes, let's see if I go to 0 to stop. You can immediately see it in the engine smoke. So if I go full forward again, engines kick in again. Like the smoke isn't tied to your speed, it's tied to the actual setting of the engine. Which is very nice. Is that a Kalashnikov I see? I do have stuff over there, we do.
Contre-torpilleur.
Position 8-0. 5000 mètres.
À tribord, toutes, terminé.
Barre au milieu du navire.
Barre au milieu du navire, terminé.
Cible presque touchée.
Okay, so the ship does have a ready rack. I think it was 17 shells per turret for some reason. Also, aircraft up apparently.
Cible touchée par les obus.
Cible identifié.
Already.
Croiseur léger.
But yeah, for some reason the Guetruan does not reload her ready racks.
Barre à bâbord.
Contre-torpilleur.
All light cruiser shooting me.
5000 mètres.
Alerte d'attaque aérienne.
I do not want to fight a light cruiser, especially if I don't know what it is. Oh, it's probably another Duguay.
Most of the zones are taken by the enemy.
The one thing I will say about the 6 Smug is it makes looking at the horizon a lot more difficult. A whole lot more difficult.
Croiseur léger. À l'avant. 5000 mètres.
Cible identifié. Croiseur léger.
Position 4-0. 5000 mètres.
That is another Truan.
Groupe de réparation. Commencez à contrôler les dégâts.
We need to put more pressure on the enemy.
Maybe.
Win it.
Nous avons
I really don't want to fight that
Thank you.
Truan. Firing the engine, which is not good, because low level cruise.
5000 mètres.
incendie.
Truan is pretty fragile for a cruiser.
Incendie.
I didn't actually take a closer look at her armor in the hangar, but it is pretty thin. From what I've heard.
Barre à tribord.
Thank you.
And I definitely need to get those French naval crews up. 30 seconds for one damaged engine is quite bad.
Barre à tribord. Tout. Cible identifié.
It is. I really like the fact you can now see what shall actually finish something off.
5000 mètres. Nous avons subi des
Really
dégâts.
good addition as well.
Moteur. En arrière. Tout.
Let's see if you can damage a cruiser like that.
Patrouilleur. À bâbord. 3000 mètres.
And I already have a reload penalty on some of my guns.
Terminé.
Yep, now I have a 20-second reload because the first order ammo rack didn't reload.
Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord. Terminé.
Moteur. À l'arrêt.
I will say these guns seem pretty good.
Ennemi gîte et perd de la
All seem
vitesse.
pretty good. But this reload rate is not good.
Moteur. À l'arrêt.
Nope, who do I have here?
Cible identifié. Patrouilleur.
Let's put... Oh, never mind.
2000 mètres.
À bâbord, toutes, terminé.
Doing decent damage to this cut-off class. Let's put gunners on Q sunk.
Barre au milieu du navire.
Let's go forward then.
L'ennemi gîte et perd de la vitesse.
Yeah, you can see the first stage ammo is empty on the turrets now, and it's just not reloading. No, the thing is, I don't care about the penetration filler. The fuse delay is why I'm using the base fuse high explosive compared to the SAP. The base fuse high explosive has a longer fuse. Oop, thank you for the subscription. If you can see who it was. Ah, it was you who just typed.
Terminé.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm using the base fuse shells purely because of the better fuse delay.
6-0.
Gets a bit deeper into enemy ships.
Patrouilleur. À bâbord. 4000 mètres.
Frappe directe.
Moteur. À l'arrêt.
The fact that the rally rack does not rearm on the Duguay is a big downside on it. A really big downside. It's been sunk. I want to keep myself away from the enemy Duguay.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 4-0. 2000 mètres.
And of course, having repairs running doesn't help the long reload either.
Par les obus.
Let's go full forward. What do we have there? Moffat of some description.
Bar à bâbord. Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
8-0. 3000 mètres.
Most of the zones are under enemy's control.
Nous avons subi des dégâts.
Those shells should be good. A bit far forward. Nope, they were good.
Oui, cible détruite. Cible touchée par les obus.
So, like, if they fix the reload thing with the Duguay Trouin,
0.
it should be a very solid cruiser. Very solid cruiser.
Contre-torpilleur. À bâbord.
Although, for some reason, it doesn't have 3 respawns, and that's something we really should. I think genuinely this cruiser performs pretty well, but you want to stay out of enemy fire. It does not do well under enemy fire. It's very squishy, very squishy.
Contre-torpilleur.
That's an enemy Duguay.
À l'avant.
Like,
3000 mètres.
you can't, you physically cannot ammo rack these things unless it's by fire. Like a fire spreading down towards the...
4000 mètres. Frappe directe.
But other than that, yeah, the engines are pretty big. Practically no armor to speak. Like, I penetrated that thing with base fuse high explosive. But it's not a bad ship. Just a bit buggy at the moment.
Frappe directe.
Like, this is what I mean with with the smoke blocking my view.
Bar à bâbord.
Like, I'd have to do this if I wanted to do third-person stuff. Also, another enemy Trouin is trying to shoot me. Very much aware of it.
Croiseur léger. À bâbord. 5000 mètres.
We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
Like, this is one of those cruisers you do not want to fight warriors with.
Position 2-0. 4000 mètres. Tout bon. Moteur gravement endommagé. Appareil hors service.
Incendie en salle des machines.
Contrôle des dégâts
Okay,
aux équipes
see.
anti-incendie. Contrôlez les compartiments en feu.
Frappe directe. Navire ennemi en feu. Bravo.
Chasseur. À bâbord. 9000 mètres.
Bâbord. Barre au milieu du navire.
Barre au milieu du navire.
Should be a kill. Yes.
Have captured a zone.
Contrôle des dégâts au bout
Problem is now that,
des compartiments inondés.
yeah, I have to fight something with a much higher fire rate.
Vaisseau ennemi coulé. Tout le monde. Nous avons subi des
Yeah,
dégâts.
definitely. Again, it's an alright cruiser. It just the rate of fire is its limitation. We have an aircraft up apparently, so let's repair any AA damage we have.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
But I do genuinely think this is not a bad ship. Just a very specialized one, I guess. A very niche cruiser. I also forget, is it the rear or the front MRAC you want to destroy on this ship? Well, let's just try there. I guess I'll just destroy the engines. There we go. MRAC, front maybe.
À l'avant. 2000 mètres. Barre à tribord. Terminé.
Yeah. It still kind of feels a bit meh to me because, well, no new Japanese ships. Ah, I'm reloading on the cap, so it's reloading the ready rack on the front turret. That's why that one has a shorter reload all of a sudden.
Tout le monde. Nous avons subi des dégâts critiques. Ennemi touché.
Terminé.
Barre au milieu du navire.
Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé.
I am not hitting that main engine that I want to hit.
Groupe de réparation. Commencez à contrôler les dégâts.
Come on, hit that one engine. Or not.
5000 mètres.
Ouais. Ennemi touché. Cible identifiée.
Contre-torpilleur.
This is probably going to be the end of my cruiser soon. Kill, and there I go. Not enough crew.
Descendez les canaux de sauvetage. Abandonnez le navire.
I want to try and finish off this destroyer. Let's actually try and go for the rammer. Because the mount is down the way for the engine room. Come on. And there I go.
Abandonnez le navire. Abandonnez le navire.
Yeah, that in battleship. Good. Now the Aigle, and what I'm going to show about torpedoes as well has been bugged. So, I'm just going to launch a single torpedo. Also, you can lots of smoke. Let's go in. I'll launch. And you might not see it at first sight, but there's no torpedo trail. There's no like trail of bubbles behind it. Also, I shouldn't have launched that into the sun. So if you're playing realistic battles, you have to be very careful about torpedoes, because you will not be able to see them. Let's see if I can actually launch that somewhere where I can see it better.
Moteur, en arrière, tout.
No torpedo trail. So yeah. Have fun spotting torpedoes in realistic now. That's a destroyer I was trying to finish off.
4-0, 7000 mètres.
Croiseur léger. À tribord. 8000 mètres.
Yeah, the weird thing about Aigle, her stat card says top speed of 67. Yeah, in-game her top speed is 71. If that's going to last, who knows? Because I do not know what the historical top speed is supposed to be of the ship.
Ennemi touché.
Kill assist is fine.
Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord. Terminé.
Yeah, like, I can't see the horizon anymore because of the smoke, but oh well. I guess I'll just have to play like this a bit more often.
Croiseur léger. À tribord. 7000 mètres.
I think something's gone wrong with the ship reloading, because let me actually... Because clearly this ship also has radio racks, right? Clearly. Does it reload them?
Croiseur léger. À
It
l'avant.
does. Okay, on this ship it does. Yeah, I'm saying also kind of mixed, but they look really good on like ships in the distance. Like they actually look... They look good. Just on your own ship it's a bit too thick. Like they kind of have a solution where it disappears if your camera gets close enough to it. But it's... still quite overwhelming. He's trying to decap A. Although he's getting attacked by 2 aircraft.
À bâbord. Tout. Terminé.
And soon a destroyer.
Deux tiers.
I should...
Barre au milieu
Oop,
du
there we
navire.
go, game over.
Barre au milieu du navire.
There we go. Also, fantastic new loading screens with update. As usual, really. Yep. So that was like a pretty standard match for ships of that BR. A whole lot of SL. A real boatload of SL, if you don't mind the pun. Those are the French ships. I will try and play the Aigle. I'll try and play them a bit more. Try and get them into some fun battles. But it's the crew I really need to work on as well. I'm not quite sure what I want to upgrade first. I'll think a few more leadership, crew interchangeability, main gun reload, because why not? And sure, let's do breach repair. Yeah, I don't quite, let me see what is knots again. It's 1.8 kilometers. So let's see what that would be. Yeah, that sounds alright with what it actually does in game. But it's weird that both of these ships don't quite seem right yet. The way that the Trans Ready Rack doesn't reload. Just the stop speed not being quite right. Something feels weird. But oh well. Let's play them again. Do I have any French aircraft I could use? No, because I don't play French aircraft. Oh well. So yeah, the only thing you can do with the French ships nowadays is just, well, for now, is to train crews. If you don't want to spend G on it. Which I am very tempted to do with the G I got from both of those packs. I need to try and get hit in one of the ammo elevators to show you that bug.
À vos postes de combat.
Also, I completely skipped over the new Russian boat, didn't I?
Barrette tribord, tout.
I really...
Terminé.
It's probably one of the more interesting ships this update anyways. I completely skipped over it.
À l'avant. 11 000 mètres.
Branle-bas de combat.
Slide up
Ennemi
there.
détecté.
Pensacola's 5-3, so that's already a bigger up there.
Terminé.
Yeah, I like the new smoke on basically any other ship that isn't mine.
Barre à tribord.
'Cause it looks better, I think, from a distance.
11 000 mètres.
I also like how much it bends in the wind.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur léger.
The one thing I do feel about these ships is that they don't perform too well at range. This is kind of annoying, this smoke, because I just cannot see that ship, which I would have been able to with the old smoke.
Croiseur bleu. À bâbord.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
1-0-0.
9 000
I
mètres.
get all guns in on the action, really. But I don't want to cut off this SKR either.
Cible identifiée.
Destroyer.
Torpilleur.
Position 1-0-0.
8 000 mètres.
Allied forces have captured
I kind of want to wait for the rangefinder to kick in.
À l'avant. 8 000 mètres.
Of course, he's now going on a sharp turn. Yeah, the guns aren't too bad when it comes to velocity. So that's good at least. Also, those guns are really loud. Can't be the only one that thinks that, but they're as quiet as I could make them. I got the weird feeling that something got changed with the volumes this update. Like, I had to fiddle with all the volume sliders when I first updated this game again. First updated.
Cible presque touchée.
I still don't know if touché is the correct translation for hit.
Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord.
I think touché should just... Isn't it just touch?
Cible presque touchée.
Hmm. Can we get a hit on that destroyer? We can't.
We're winning.
Okay.
Cible
Straddle that target really badly.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant.
Let's try and not hit that Kuma. Ouch.
Terminé.
Moteur en avant, tout. Cible identifiée, croiseur léger.
Position 8-0. La spinette.
Enemy forces have captured.
Aoba, so this is the Volupter again. Okay.
Par au milieu du
I
navire.
didn't see any 5.7s on my team.
Terminé.
That's not gonna be a good time.
Nous avons subi des dégâts.
Yeah, the rounds are alright, but you have to use the base fuse one. In my opinion, is the better of the two rounds. Sort of comment a bit later, Nick.
Croiseur léger. À l'avant.
We no longer have the advantage.
I'm flooding,
Identifié. Contre-torpilleur.
losing the A guns is the biggest problem at the moment.
Contrôle des dégâts.
That's a Hipper
Vélo des compartiments.
and the Aoba. And we don't have any 5.7s, do we? Nope.
Cible presque touchée.
Contre-torpilleur.
This is not going to end well.
4000 mètres.
I might actually try out the Agla on her own without the Guetro and the lineup.
Des dégâts.
See what that would be like.
Contrôle des dégâts aux équipes anti-incendie. Contrôlez les compartiments en feu. Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord. Terminé.
Ouais, rapide. Navire est mis en feu.
There goes engine fire again.
Appareil d'incendie.
Incendie. Incendie en salle de machine.
Let's just try and finish off this Moffat
Des dégâts critiques.
before I get sunk,
Ennemi touché.
which I most definitely will, fighting an Eugen and an Aoba.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur lourd.
I think I just physically don't have the pen to deal with those two ships either. Maybe the Aoba, but not the Hipper.
Ennemi gicle et perd de la vitesse. Poste de réparation, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
Croiseur léger. À l'avant.
11 000 mètres.
Contrôle des dégâts à vos postes.
Reload counter is bugged on all my turrets.
Ouais, cible touchée par les obus. Poste de réparation, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
Oh, a target I can actually maybe hurt.
Contre-torpilleur.
Position 1, 2, 0. 4000 mètres.
Barre à
Okay, the engines of that were intact, but I'm not. And there we go. Yeah. I think the Guetrouin is definitely a cruiser that deserves the BR-47.
Le vaisseau
Oh, did I just sink the...
tout le monde. Flottabilité
Oh no, somebody else
critique.
got a kill. That's what I heard the ding of.
The enemy is winning.
Contre-torpilleur. À tribord. 8000 mètres.
branle-bas de combat. Ennemi détecté. Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord. Terminé.
Don't understand we got a full up there and no 5.7s on our team. That's a bit annoying. Especially when they just have an Aoba and an Eugen pushing C.
Barre à bâbord. Tout.
À bâbord tout. Terminé. Croiseur lourd. À tribord.
I do think the smoke looks a bit better than it did on the dev server, but I'm not entirely sure.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
It's still a bit PNG-ish. Also, why is the wind not affecting my smoke like it is theirs?
Bar à tribord.
Barre à tribord, terminé.
Si
We've
vous
managed to
identifiez,
capture A, that's good. We're about to capture B, by the looks of it.
9000 mètres.
Well, let's try fight the heavy cruiser, I guess.
tribord, tout.
À tribord, terminé.
Bar au milieu du navire.
10 000 mètres.
Fine, just keep going. I'm horribly overshooting the O, but
Frappe directe.
Torpilleur.
yeah, the Aglas guns are definitely lower velocity than the true air. It's kind of to be expected from these kind of guns. Quite short.
Frappe directe.
Let's mark that for team.
Touché par les obus.
Keep going.
Ah, frappe directe.
Seems I'm actually penning the Oba somewhat. Let's just keep up this fire.
L'ennemi gîte et perd de la vitesse. Cible touchée par les obus.
Croiseur lourd. À l'avant. 7000 mètres.
What's the torpedo range in this thing? 13 Does it have the torpedo mode equipped? I need to double check in the hangar again. Ah boy.
Cible presque touchée.
Préparez les tubes.
Fine, let's just repair the engines. Actually, no, that breach is a bit more dangerous.
Commencez à contrôler les dégâts. Contrôle des dégâts au groupe de réparation. Pompez l'eau des compartiments inondés.
Let's try and torpedo him, but he's behind cover at the moment. Doing all three repairs at the same time isn't good, but I'm not gonna survive this engagement anyways.
Contrôle des dégâts aux
Let's just
équipes
launch
qui
some
incendient.
torpedoes that
Contrôlez
direction.
les compartiments en feu. Contrôle des dégâts au groupe de réparation. Rétablissez l'étanchéité.
Tout le monde, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques. Torpille
Kind of want to try and get the torpedo tube back operational.
Nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
While I can, but I think that Hipper is just behind solid cover.
Attention, le pont est en feu.
And there I go.
Appareil hors de contrôle.
I might just leave this match, to be honest, because there's nothing much I can do against 5-7 sitting 5 kilometers outside of my spawn.
Poste de réparation.
So I'm just gonna leave this match.
Inondation détectée dans le compartiment. Inondation. Croiseur lourd. À l'avant. Le vaisseau perd en flottabilité.
No.
Totalement
Don't, if you have to choose, but I'm reading the comment again, between is the US Des Moines a good premium to grind? No, get the Helena instead.
Donnez le navire. Maintenant.
Because the Des Moines just blows up as soon as somebody looks at it funny. Don't get the Des Moines if you want to grind. Because it's just going to get detonated by people who know how to shoot it. See if can I get a bomber to maybe deal with those cruisers? No, because this has a pretty little bomb. Look at the hangar it is. And let's remove Trouin from the lineup and try Agla at just 4-3. I've been hearing people say that There are zombie Des Moines out there at the moment as well. But again, yeah, they just detonate as soon as somebody shoots underneath the second turret. Let's hope we get a bit better matchmaking at 4-3. Because the Trua definitely doesn't carry itself all the way up to 5-7. It really doesn't. 5-0? Sure. Beyond that, not really. Mediterranean port again. I forgot to check if I had my torpedo mode modification equipped or not. Oh well. 65 kph isn't that bad. It is pretty slow. It's not too bad.
Préparez le navire au combat. Moteur, pleine puissance. Bâbord, tout.
À bâbord, toutes, terminé.
Attack the A point.
Barre au milieu du navire.
Contre-torpilleur. À tribord. 9000 mètres.
Branle-bas de combat. Ennemi détecté. Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur. 6-0. 6000 mètres.
Let's wait for those rear guns to turn on the target. That looks like a gearing or a summoner.
Contre-torpilleur. À tribord.
But we can pen that. We've got SAP after all.
Ah, ennemi touché. Frappe direct. Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Okay, let's keep moving.
4000 mètres. Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord. Terminé.
Looks like pretty good matchmaking.
Thanks.
Barre à
And I
tribord.
think what I'm going to do is I'm not actually going to rush onto B, I'm just going to stay here. And just provide some fire support.
Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé. Contre-torpilleur. À tribord. 3000 mètres.
Moteur à l'arrêt.
Thank you very much. Allied forces have captured a zone.
Tribord, tout.
À tribord. Toutes. Terminé.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur. Position 6-0. 7000 mètres. Au fond dangereux devant.
Thank you very much.
That seems like the coast is clear.
Croiseur léger.
Oh, I spoke way too soon. Paragon and Sumner.
À l'avant. 3000 mètres.
Spoke way too soon.
Au fond dangereux devant.
This thing does not like slowing down, not with a stock crew at least. Breach repairs can wait, I'm not flooding. I need to think this Alwyn as quick as possible. Preferably by actually hitting him.
Contrôle des dégâts. À vos postes.
There we go.
Nous avons subi des dégâts.
And taken out by somebody else, perfect. Oh, a torpedo from a coastal vessel got him.
Moteur gravement endommagé.
That's a snazzy cannon on that guy's Moffat.
Torpilleur. À l'avant.
That gearing is also pretty much sunk.
Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord.
I was lucky with some good teammates.
Identifié. Contre-torpilleur. Position 8-0. 6000 mètres.
And now we'll go forward again.
À bâbord. Toutes. Terminé.
Yeah, it seems
Perte de la vitesse. Moteur pleine puissance.
that Egg is a bit
À tribord.
sluggish.
5000 mètres.
But it could also be because low crew skills, because
Milieu du navire. Terminé.
actually switching engines is a crew skill.
Contre-torpilleur.
I think is steering gear also a crew skill? I think it is. Like switching engine speed is a crew skill for sure. Ooh, an Abdiel. Or an Abdiel,
Cible
however you
identifiée.
pronounce it.
Croiseur léger.
1-0-0. 4000 mètres.
I like the look of that new smoke when it is on other ships. Because when I zoom out, I can't see anything.
Le presque. Contre-torpilleur. À bâbord. 2000 mètres.
Cible touchée par les obus.
Tout le monde, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
Keep it up, and victory will be ours.
Lower.
Les obus.
There we go. Destroy the engines.
Hésite et perd de la vitesse.
Could not prevent them from capturing C, but we still at the advantage.
3000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 8-0.
3000 mètres.
Hold on.
À tribord, toutes. Terminé.
The Abdiel, did it get sunk by somebody firing TF at it?
Nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
What is the AAC shell on the Italian destroyers again?
Croiseur léger. À l'avant. 4000 mètres.
I have to check that out later.
Par un tribord. Tout.
Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé.
Let's plug that hole wherever it is.
Contrôle des dégâts au groupe de réparation. Pompez l'eau des
Rakaz is dropping smoke for who knows.
Barre à tribord. Terminé. Tout le monde, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
Our rear turrets are still rotating in place. Into position.
Contre-torpilleur. À bâbord.
What is that?
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
1-0-0. 4000 mètres.
Oh boy, immature. I don't know if you noticed, but I've knocked out the ammo elevator on the front gun and it's not firing. Even though I didn't knock out the gun itself. Can I got an assist, damn. Oh well.
Incendie! Incendie en salle des machines! Contre-torpilleur!
Don't smoke up, Eskimo. That doesn't help you.
Collaboration sous la ligne de flottaison!
Moteur. En arrière.
This is not World of Warships.
Dans le compartiment!
Just doesn't help you.
Ouais. Cible touchée par les obus. Le vaisseau perd en flottabilité. Compartiment totalement inondé. Tout le monde. Flottabilité.
And there we go. But Agra comes with 3 respawns, or 3 spawns, so we can just play Agra for the entire match.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 6000 mètres.
Roll-bas de combat. Ennemi détecté. Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur. 4-0.
AAC must just be normal shells, I guess.
Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord. Terminé.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 8-0. 4000 mètres. Contre-torpilleur.
There are destroyers I can shoot at. There's one there. There's one in front of me as well.
Contre-torpilleur.
4-0. 5000 mètres. À bâbord, tout. Terminé.
Moteur. 2 tiers. Ennemi touché.
Ooh, a Japanese destroyer.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
And another one behind it.
3000 mètres. Barre au milieu du navire.
Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé.
Ah, that's just Tokichi, okay. I was kind of getting worried it was like an HCTF shell. Because it would be so funny to actually catch people firing TF shells
Victory is close.
against ships. Although, it actually implies you can get a kill with those things. against 4 ships. I am not spanning those destroyers good enough. Rear guns still have angles, yep. Stop plotting and keep going forward.
À l'avant 4000 mètres.
Contrôle des dégâts au
The
bout
guy
de
got
les
sunk.
balanciers. Pompez l'eau des compartiments inondés. Maintenant. Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur. Position 4-0. 4000 mètres.
Do we... don't really have any other targets. I'll just keep going forward until I see that Ayanami again.
Croiseur léger. Position 6-0. 5000 mètres.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'arrière. 5000 mètres.
Nous avons subi des dégâts.
Apparently this destroyer over there as well, yep.
Cible identifiée.
I want to focus on the Japanese destroyer over here, but it's got sunk
5000 mètres.
by a PT-200.
Cible identifiée. Patrouilleur. 1-2-0. 5000 mètres.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 3000 mètres.
Oh, who do I have here? Fletcher.
Bord, terminé.
Cible identifiée.
The Fletcher I saw earlier.
Torpilleur. Position 4.
That slow turret reverse is kind of something that's difficult to work with.
Hauteur, un tiers. Barre au milieu du navire.
Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé.
L'ennemi gicle et perd de la vue. Au fond dangereux devant.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory.
Ah, ennemi touché.
How close am I to the shore? Probably too close to turn.
4-0. 6000 mètres. À tribord, toutes.
À tribord. Toutes. Terminé. Croiseur léger.
I actually really want to test out the anti-air of this ship.
Au fond dangereux devant.
But yeah, these 37s feel very similar to the German 37s on their destroyers. By the way they fire. I think it's even the same fire rate.
Contre-torpilleur. À tribord. 4000 mètres.
Of course, the likelihood I'll actually hit something with a level 1 crew is very low. Not really the best test for this kind of weapon. The anti-air weapons.
Contre-torpilleur. À tribord.
But everyone is probably going to start off with a very low level crew. Game's gonna be over before I can actually shoot this Hatsuharu, isn't it?
Cible identifiée. Attaquant. 8-0. 3000 mètres.
Ooh, I can maybe get a volley off.
Attaque aérienne.
Nope, well, game already over.
Terminé.
Aucun ennemi en vue. Zone de combat dégagée.
The Guitruan definitely has the better SL modifier of the two, by the looks of it. Not that it's almost 50,000, SL is a bad amount of SL. But yeah. Egg is pretty solid, Truan seems pretty solid. Just a shame of the matchmaking I've been having. I think I'll do one more match. And by then most people probably will know what these ships are like. Oh, hold on. Was I using torpedo mode? I was. Let's disable that. Now what are the torpedoes like now? Much better. 9 kilometers is still a good torpedo range at 72 kph. It's more acceptable. Well, it's not that big of a difference really. So maybe it's actually torpedo mode worthwhile. They said they changed the spawns on Fiji, so I'm curious now. There was actually a patch that spawns on a bunch of maps changed, but I don't see any difference right now. Yeah, no, these spawns still seem the same.
Moteur, pleine puissance. Par à bâbord,
Seems like we might actually have gotten it down tier this time.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 10 000 mètres.
branle-bas de combat. Ennemi détecté.
Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé.
Par à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord. Terminé.
Pre-programmed? I don't know. I don't know how it would work, how you'd set that. It could be kind of interesting to turn around islands, but
Torpilleur. À l'avant.
I don't know how that would work. I don't want homing torpedoes though. That's a big no-no. No matter what the explosive mass is, no. Or it needs to be very clearly not potent. It needs to be a kind of homing that's easy to dodge.
9 000 mètres.
And I think getting torpedoes to hit in a straight when you just launch them in a straight line is already difficult enough. Dude, no need for fancy patterns on them. And if anything, the most important thing about a torpedo in this game is its speed. So if you were to put a zigzag pattern on it, you'd only slow it down.
The Allied forces have captured a zone.
Although the coverage might be better, but still. Yeah, I do kind of wish we had a follow cam for torpedoes. Sadly, we don't. I should actually be turning... Yeah, I should be turning the other way. So I actually had to see.
À l'avant. 5 000 mètres. Contre-torpilleur.
Let's shoot this guy a bit.
4 000 mètres.
Cible identifiée.
3,
Contre-torpilleur.
2, 0. 6 000 mètres. Ah, frappe directe.
I'm definitely looking forward to the full French Navy, though. I think that's going to be pretty great. Because these ships really aren't that bad. They're a different playstyle, the guns are different. They don't feel bad in any sense of the word.
Ah, cible touchée par les obus.
If anything, these shells are hit pretty hard.
Il perd de la vitesse.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 3, 2, 5 000 mètres. Frappe directe.
I wanted to try and detonate this ship.
Croiseur
I
léger.
don't think that's gonna happen, is it?
8 000 mètres.
It also just isn't going to happen if I keep hitting the same engine room over and over again. Ooh, we have some targets over here. Some zombie Tashkents.
Contre-torpilleur.
3, 4, 0. 6 000 mètres.
Moteur. En arrière. Tout.
Tribord, toute. Terminé.
Par au milieu du navire.
Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé.
Thought he was reversing. That's why I fired so far back. Doesn't seem like it.
Ennemi touché.
This might be a bit high. Need to be careful about the actual players over there.
Bâbord. 4000 mètres.
Look at this guy.
Terminé.
Moteur.
I think it's an actual player at least.
Identifié. Contre-torpilleur.
3, 2, 0. 4000 mètres.
Bâbord. Tout.
The reload on these guns is really weird.
Ah, ennemi touché.
Enemy forces have captured a goal.
Cible touchée par les obus.
Because they get out of sync at some random intervals, random times. Is that guy's all his engine destroyed? It's still moving like that? Okay. Ooh. A Harakaze.
Croiseur léger. À bâbord. 5000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
3, 0.
It's quite an annoying bug though that these guns don't reload their ready racks.
Controlling most of the zones.
Well, hopefully that will get fixed sooner rather than later. I see torpedoes being launched.
Cible touchée
Did I
par les obus.
overpan that ship? With these shells? I might actually have to switch to the sub.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 9000 mètres.
Yeah, I think I'm overpanning that
Ennemi
Crescendo.
qui perd de la vitesse.
Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord. Terminé.
Let's see if the sub overpans or not. Still kind of looks like it. Also, I see the destroyer going full charge out of that cover.
Identifié. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 3, 0, 0.
Let's give it a welcoming salvo as soon as it clears that island.
Strategic zones.
Barre à bâbord. Tout.
À bâbord. Toutes. Terminé.
Ah, there you go.
Du navire.
The update has been fine, although there have been a few bugs that are a bit odd.
Barre à tribord. Terminé.
Although not that I've really been able to showcase it.
Contre-torpilleur.
But apparently now if you lose the ammo elevator, your gun just doesn't reload anymore. Might be a major bug, if that's still how it is.
Ouais, ennemi touché.
That guy's sunk.
À tribord. Toutes. Terminé.
Let's leave some room for the Tashkent to maneuver around the island. Because I think that's an actual player, Tashkent as well.
Ouais, cible touchée par les obus.
Target front. I think it's far away.
Ah, frappe directe.
Not getting much pan with these shells on that cruiser. I'm not really expecting a lot from these shells either. What is that, 2.5 kilometers? 80 mils. I'll probably swap over this sub after the salvo.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 6000 mètres.
Ennemi touché.
That's better.
Les gars aux équipes anti-incendie. Contrôlez les compartiments en feu.
Frappe directe.
Barre à tribord.
And the aircraft guns are opening up.
Nous avons subi des dégâts.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur léger.
2, 0. 2000 mètres. Ennemi gîte et perd de la vitesse.
Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord. Terminé.
Alerte d'attaque aérienne.
Is this a zombie Kafkas? Ouch, I think it was a bomb. If fine.
Contrôle des dégâts au groupe de réparation. Pompez l'eau des compartiments.
Yeah, it's a high altitude plane.
Moteur, en arrière. Tous.
Now I'm being just pelted by Wilkinson. My reload for some reason is extremely long. No, I got the aircraft. Nice.
Réparation. Rétablissez l'étanchéité.
Tout le monde, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques. Ennemis touchés.
Yes. The Gretna might not be that armored, but I don't think 76mm HE will do anything. Okay. Whole vessel somewhere. Cleo's reversing. There it is. FP is not auto-enabling. Well, it is because I'm just getting shot at by HE. Don't let it mislead you. I'm just under fire from high explosive damage at the moment. Why did it start the deflooding? I want my FP, please. Also, that guy's beat annoying.
Rétablissez l'étanchéité.
Contre-torpilleur. À tribord. 1000 mètres.
Au fond dangereux devant.
We don't have the advantage anymore.
Yep, okay, this is what I want to show. You see the ammo elevator being destroyed?
Contrôle des
That turret is no longer reloading.
Pompez l'eau des compartiments inondés. Maintenant.
Destroyed ammo elevator? Turret no longer reloads.
The enemy is winning.
I'll try and just showcase that it isn't just a faulty indicator. So the front gun is reloaded, but doesn't mean much.
Moteur,
So let's see.
arrêt.
Yep, broken ammo elevator means no longer able to reload.
Contrôle des dégâts à vos postes.
Fun times.
Moteur, pleine puissance.
Contre-torpilleur. À tribord.
Please come around the corner, please come around the corner.
Ratribord.
Oh, really?
À tribord.
How did it gonna overshoot?
Bas au milieu du navire. Terminé.
Dégâts critiques. Partie endommagée sur le point de céder.
The thing is, he's already used his torpedoes, but I don't want to push out against that fleet. Actually, is that Mitcher still afloat? It isn't. Good.
Patrouilleur.
No, if you fix the ammo elevator, you're able to reload again.
Cible identifiée. Bateau.
Position 2, 6.
Okay, is that 43? Why you're squeezing in between this?
Bar à tribord. Terminé.
What kind of sense does that make?
Nous avons subi des dégâts critiques. Poste de réparation. Barre endommagée. Appareil hors de contrôle.
Attaquant. À l'avant. 8000 mètres.
Au fond dangereux devant.
Also,
Touché par les obus.
is that turret's broken, but it's still working.
Torpilleur.
Position.
I've noticed that the broken turret on this ship doesn't actually do anything.
Contrôle des dégâts au groupe de
Like
réparation.
it's reloading, it's rotating.
Compartiments inondés.
It doesn't even really look broken.
Poste de réparation. Nous avons subi des dégâts critiques. Au fond dangereux devant.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
3, 4, 0.
Weird things, man.
Frappe direct.
Of course, I am the one getting shot at by the Moffat.
6. Touché par les obus.
Perforation sous la ligne de flottaison.
And yeah, that turret's broken, but it's firing.
Poste de réparation.
I just think it's something specific to this ship. It might also be a thing on other ships, I'm not sure. Can I get... No, I can't get a hit on that.
Perforation sous la ligne de flottaison.
Moteur à l'arrêt.
We are still losing because we only have this one cap. I think I'm just gonna jet.
Tout le monde. Moteur en panne. Appareil à la dérive.
Yeah, the base fuse is the better of the two shells when it comes to armor piercing. As long...
Abandonnez le navire.
If The base fuse shell can penetrate the target, it'll penetrate deeper than the sap will.
Moteur, pleine puissance.
K,
À tribord.
K2 is kind of annoying.
Contre-torpilleur.
Position 3, 0, 0. 5000 mètres.
Barre à bâbord.
Want to get all guns on target. What's sap nerf? I don't know what people are talking about with the sap nerf. If you mean battleship shells nuking other ships, then yeah, sure, of course. That was something that was supposed to happen, really.
Chasseur, à tribord.
But sap on destroyers still works plenty fine.
Roll-back point. Ennemi détecté.
Okay, so broken turrets on these ships does actually mean no longer operational. So it's something weird to get through, where broken turrets just still work. My shells?
Abandonnez le navire.
Yep. Expected, I guess. So we're not winning this match, because nobody can get to be your A. Hello there, Frup. Yes, boat.
Barre à tribord, tout.
À tribord, toutes, terminé.
Yeah, I get a strong suspicion that both of these ships, the Agland and the Guitro, aren't quite finished.
Barre à
There's
tribord.
just something that feels odd about them.
Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord. Terminé. Chasseur, à bâbord. 5000
Not
mètres.
the worst match.
Repliez-vous. Préparez les rapports de dégâts.
Yeah. This lineup is really good for SL earnings though, that's for sure. Especially Trouin. 1200. Is it normal for a rank 3 premium? 1200? Yeah, it is. Just feels like it's earning a lot of SL. So yeah. I'll just keep playing it. No, it isn't. It's just that enable you get lots and lots of hits, which in other games you don't really get. That and 1200 SL bonus is quite a high bonus. I'm actually going to first spawn the Aglis, just so I can fight around B and C. And then the Guetruan later. I know, man. I was really hesitant on whether or not I was going to do the German Blue Water Navy tree or the Italian Blue Water Navy tree next for completing it. But Giulio definitely made me decide I'm going to take the Italian Blue Water Navy tree first. That's such a cool looking battleship.
Roll-bas de combat.
Though then again, I also have to get the Nevada to recomplete my American Blue Water tree. That's a hard turn there, man. Straight into a Moffat. I mean, I'm already kind of past the suffering stage for Italy. I'm already at 5-7 for them.
À l'avant. 9000 mètres.
But the Dewey looks so good. Okay, I'll take fire. I don't have the Zara yet, I'm just at the 5-7 light cruisers. The Eugenio di Savoia and...
Lance torpille.
oh, what's the other one? But yeah, those two. Currently getting a Abruzzi, then I'm gonna get Zara. And then Beeline for the Giulio. That's 32. Where are you going?
moteur, en arrière.
À tribord, toute. Terminé.
Barre au milieu du navire.
Yeah. I mean, I also do have the Pola, with, thanks to a generous donation from a certain friend of mine. Definitely not the Pola cult leader. So I have a pretty easy way to grind the Italian naval tree, but I'm just a sucker for actually spading stuff. But the stock grind on light cruisers is really... oof.
Ennemi touché.
But I will say, the two ships on their own are good enough, and in a lineup, solid. I'm just using SAP. I'm using SAP and... Ah, you mean for the stock grind? Yeah. The just HE is really, really not fun if you're in a stock light cruiser.
Cible
Yeah.
identifiée. Croiseur léger.
The difference between firing at a Moffat with 152mm HE and 152mm AP is day and night.
Contrôle des
Also,
dégâts
I
au groupe de
really just
réparation.
want to get
Pompez
out
l'eau
of
des
that
compartiments inondés. Maintenant.
firepower, really. Like, why am I the one being shot at? Why none of those?
Cible identifiée.
Especially if you're shooting from there.
Position 3, 2, 0. 6000 mètres.
We have destroyers over there.
Torpilleurs, à l'avant.
The smoke does really make it a lot easier to actually spot ships.
Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord, terminé.
I think that's not enough. That's not a good lead.
Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé.
It should be better. So 32 is right behind me.
Contre-torpilleur.
Oh,
À tribord. 5000 mètres.
a very nice detonation.
Ennemi coulé.
You see, what is the filler on these shells?
Contrôle des
253, that's
de
good.
réparation. Pompez l'eau des compartiments inondés. Contrôle des dégâts
Like,
au
these
groupe de
are
réparation.
big guns for this BR.
D'étanchéité. Contrôle des dégâts à vos postes.
So they hit quite hard, but that's
Contre-torpilleur.
that's not something I was really wanting to face. And SAT-32, please don't hide behind cover. No, you're right behind me, okay. Ah, yeah. And the Italian cruisers are pretty solid. It's just stock grind is a bit awful. Once you pass that.
L'ennemi gicle au tiers de la vitesse.
Contre-torpilleur.
I'm going to rotate guns
3000 mètres.
that way again.
Nous avons subi des dégâts.
And I think I'll just cross the gap and get into cover. There was an enemy Prinz Eugen around, okay. Also ready torpedo tubes.
Réparez les tubes.
Ooh, another Agle.
Contre-torpilleur.
Front ammo rack.
À l'avant.
Can I hit it? Can I hit it? Can I hit the front ammo rack?
Cible identifiée.
Where are the rear guns not on target?
1000 mètres.
I could not hit the front ammo rack.
Navire.
I do not want to believe that torpedo lead indicator.
Ennemi touché.
It is away. Keep rushing towards the gap.
Barre à bâbord.
As it's too far forward. Keep going, keep going. Yeah, that's the one. Torpedoes missed. Well,
Nous avons subi des dégâts.
that's actually not good because I don't have any explosive armor anymore.
Contrôle des dégâts aux équipes anti-incendie. Contrôlez les compartiments en feu.
Croiseur léger, à tribord, 8000 mètres.
Why is he... Oh, he's torpedoing me. Okay. Guns also just cannot keep up with him by the looks of it. Forward. Yeah, I got played here. Also, what happened to the friendly I had with me? sound effects that's doing that. Because that is just deafening. It's already pretty low. Oh, to where next, I guess. Straight off, but we can deal with that.
Branle-bas de combat. Ennemi détecté. Cible identifiée. Croiseur léger.
Position 2-6-0.
Yeah, the Agla isn't the greatest at close quarters combat, but it can do it.
Terminé.
As long as your turrets don't have to rotate really fast. I was kind of hoping I really would manage to torpedo that Agla though on sea.
Ah, ennemi touché.
I was really hoping for it.
Ah, frappe directe.
Paratribord.
Paratribord, terminé.
Frappe directe.
I'll load the sap through this.
En feu.
Just to actually pan the cruiser a bit better.
Ah, cible touchée par les obus.
It's a difference in... The sap has more explosive mass too.
À tribord. 9000 mètres.
Frappe directe.
A bit of a kill steal, but oh well.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 2-4-0.
That guy's shooting me instead of the target light in front of him.
Barre au milieu du navire.
Barre au milieu du navire, terminé. Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 6000 mètres.
Yep, that guy's shooting me instead of Leander right in front of him, or... Well, never mind. Weird target prioritization.
Cible touchée par les obus. L'ennemi gîte et perd de la vitesse.
Reloads, okay.
Cible touchée par les obus.
Cible identifiée.
We lost a Leander. That's not ideal.
7000 mètres.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 6000 mètres.
Barre à bâbord.
It's also not ideal that I've already shot through my ready rack.
Frappe directe. L'ennemi gîte et perd de la vitesse.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 9000 mètres.
I'm going to check what the actual accuracy of the rangefinder on the ship is. Why did he switch targets? 'Cause I'm not going to switch targets, that's for sure.
Feu détecté sur le navire ennemi.
Okay, now you're switched back. Firing HE, but that's a Frank Knox, isn't it? Yep. This is a cruiser, you should not fire HE at a cruiser. Not on a destroyer, at least.
Cible touchée par les obus. Ah,
The enemy has most of the strategic zones.
Contre-torpilleur. À tribord. 8000 mètres.
vaisseau ennemi coulé, bravo. L'ennemi gîte et perd de la vitesse. Ah, ah.
Cible identifiée.
It was weird, babe, when Frank Knox just fire HE at me.
6-0.
I'm pretty sure that the Rat Tracer is HE at least.
Terminé.
Also, I'm going to repair my anti-air because I see that aircraft approaching.
Groupe de réparation. Commencez à contrôler les dégâts. Cible identifiée. Bombardier torpilleur.
Position
With the base fuse again.
6000 mètres.
Contre-torpilleur! À l'avant! 5000 mètres!
Barre
I'm
à
off
tribord.
behind there shooting at me.
Terminé!
Nous avons subi des dégâts.
Lost a Pensacola to a Frank Knox. Okay then. That's not good.
Frappe directe.
But I do want to prioritize this. What's this again? Darren class, that's it.
Contre-torpilleur! À tribord! 7000 mètres!
Ennemi touché.
Is that a Mitcher going to try and melt me again? Yep. Well, time to fire back.
Nous avons subi des dégâts.
Too much lead.
Perforation sous la ligne de flottaison! Contre-torpilleur! À l'avant! 7000 mètres!
Again, he's just hitting me with high explosive, and this ship is resistant against high explosive. So that's fine.
Cible touchée par les obus.
I've lost the ammo elevator for turret number 2 again. Fire could easily put out.
Contrôle des dégâts à vos postes.
I really wish somebody would help me with that guy, because that's annoying to deal with. Just for the sound alone.
Nous avons subi des dégâts.
Although we have an Atlanta on the hunt now, so that should be good.
Contre-torpilleur! À l'avant! 4000 mètres!
It's engines in the fire.
Inside des machines!
Fires in the engines, not engines in the fire.
Subi des dégâts.
That'll be a bit more confusing.
Ouais. Cible touchée par les obus.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur léger.
3, 2, 0. 8000 mètres.
Bombardier torpilleur! À tribord! 8000 mètres!
So, okay, that got destroyed again.
Subi des dégâts critiques.
I do not want to repair my bridge.
Cible anti-incendie. Contrôlez les compartiments en feu. Groupe de réparation. Commencez à contrôler les dégâts.
L'ennemi gîte et perd de la vitesse.
What exactly is our Atlanta doing?
Sous la ligne de flottaison!
Not much, by the looks of it, to be honest. Again, I'm about to lose my cruiser as well.
À l'avant! 2000 mètres! Perforation sous la ligne de flottaison!
Le vaisseau perd en flottabilité. Alerte d'attaque aérienne.
And the Atlanta got sunk by the Agla.
Nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
Okay,
Tout le monde. Flottabilité critique.
that makes sense, obviously.
Tout le monde. Moteur gravement endommagé. Appareil non.
Tout le monde. Abandonnez le navire. Abandonnez le navire.
I haven't noticed the new spawn points. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Cringe. I haven't noticed them. I don't. It's also not all maps. And I wasn't Fiji. Apparently Fiji got the new spawn points. Didn't notice anything different.
À bâbord, toutes. Terminé.
Actually, this is also one of the new maps with the new spawn points, I think.
Du navire. Terminé.
I haven't noticed anything different. Double check again. See if you can find the patch notes. Where in the patch notes is it? Yeah, there should be new spawn points on this map.
Contre-torpilleur.
I haven't noticed anything different. These spawn points look pretty much the same as they always did.
Ennemi détecté.
We no longer have the advantage.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 2-8-0.
Barre à bâbord, terminé.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
2-8-0.
Contre-torpilleur. À tribord. 8000 mètres.
Why am I aiming so high? That's all gonna hit the island. Probably. Oh, actually, no, one of those hit the engine.
Barre à bâbord. Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 2-8-0. 3000 mètres. Vaisseau ennemi coulé, oui.
Of course.
Cible touchée.
Surely the Z-12 can finish him off. He's at like 8% crew, I think.
De réparation. Pompez l'eau des compartiments inondés. Maintenant.
The Z-12 managed to not finish this guy off. I mean, he's sinking. He's got sunk. But he got sunk as well.
The enemy has most of the strategic zones.
Nous avons subi des dégâts.
Groupe de réparation.
Actually, what does Exchange say about the spawn points? Distance between spawns have increased. Points themselves are formed into columns instead of rows. Yeah, I think like the actual spawn points on the maps haven't changed. It's just like the individual spawn positions of each ship in a spawn point have become a bit more streamlined. Well, hello there, sneaky little guy.
Identifié. Bateau.
2-0. 1000 mètres. Vaisseau ennemi coulé.
I have to be careful for torpedoes now. Because
Alerte
torpedoes don't have a torpedo trail anymore.
Entier. À l'avant. 1000 mètres.
The enemy is winning.
Enemy aircraft up as well. Halifax. Okay.
Contre-torpilleur.
2-8-0. 5000 mètres.
Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord, terminé.
No, it's these spawn points are the same. It's just that the individual spawn points inside of like each spawn group is different, I believe. Because now instead of like spawning and sailing directly towards one another, you actually spawn sailing and heading in this direction. Oh god. British destroyer, you shoot underneath the front turrets. Let's try that. That's way too far in the back. There goes one of my turrets. That should be better. That's too high.
Barre au milieu du navire.
Far in front. That's too high still. Just shoot the engines at this point. I can crew kill him with just shooting the engines. There we go.
Ennemi détruit, bravo.
Barre à tribord. Toute.
À tribord, toutes terminées. Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 4000 mètres.
Halifax got shot down. But this game is pretty much over as well.
Identifié. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 3-2-0.
Moffat. Let's try and
Nous avons subi
Yep,
des
never
dégâts.
mind.
Alerte d'attaque aérienne.
Alert for air attack. There it is. A wyvern.
Cible identifiée. Attaquant.
Position 3-0-0. 7000 mètres.
I'm not gonna capture this point in time, am I? No.
If we don't do something fast, the enemy
Yeah, that's a shame.
Attaquant. 3000 mètres.
Alerte
Pretty good game though.
Mission non
Yep, I saw another coastal vessel just at the last second. Slowly but surely gathering crew XP. Do I keep playing these ships? Or do I play something else? Oh yeah, I remember. Completely forgot about this Russian boat that he added. The weird one. I could work towards that. Actually use 3 7s. Maybe even a 4-3 lineup. I also kind of just want to do my Italian ships. Ah, that's hard, Montecacholi. Because I do really want to get that new, or at least be able to death sail it. Just get Abruzzi, Zara, and then just beeline these two. Let's play a match at the PR, just to, well, 2 matches. Just to take a break from 4-7. Oh, they're actually pretty close to Abruzzi. They're not really any closer to any spading bonuses. I'm also curious to see how many people actually bought the Des Moines and are botting in them. Because I've been hearing on another Discord that I've seen quite a few of them. Got a match. Not exactly my favorite map, but we'll work with it. I will take Montecacholi first, just trying to get to unlock the AP shells on it.
Mettere in sicurezza la nave per salpare.
Newport News.
Motori a massima velocità. Timone, virare tutto a tribordo.
Sì, signore. Incrociatore leggero.
So Newport News does mean we've got up tier to 6-3.
15.000 metri.
Posti di combattimento. Nemico avvistato. Timone, a mezza nave.
Timone a mezza nave. Sì, signore.
Bersaglio individuato. Incrociatore leggero.
240. 14.000 metri.
Get off, please. Please. Don't just sail straight into me.
Dietro tutta.
Oh well. I guess that's what will happen.
Bersaglio individuato.
It's not really the kind of ranges I want to engage targets at. Let's hope there's something spawning over there.
Timone a tribordo.
We do have a Des Moines on our team. Kind of to be expected. Seems the Newport News wants to turn out, or I'll turn in front of me. I'll just maneuver behind him then. Let's just wait to see if we can actually have any targets to shoot at. Actually, did I need this to spawn?
Sì, signore. Vivare a babordo.
Not that I can see, at least. Also, yes, coastlines against certain objects are weird. Green, red. Don't quite know what's causing that, but that's just a thing now. Somebody must have spilled a lot of paint. Getting shot at by something?
Incrociatore leggero. Bussola. 2,
Okay, seems a bit ambitious.
Bersaglio individuato. Incrociatore leggero.
2, 0. 13.000 metri.
I'll just fire a pot shot at it. Now, is anything even vaguely approaching B? Does not seem like it because they're... Oop, hold on. I spoke too soon.
Bersaglio individuato.
But they're not going for B.
2, 6, 0.
I guess I will.
Motori. Tutto a poppa.
Got a Kirov, a Krim.
Bersaglio individuato. Incrociatore leggero.
2, 6, 0. 9.000 metri.
Timone. Virare tutto a
I
babordo.
kind of get the feeling I can actually damage
Timone
Kirovs quite
a babordo.
badly.
Sì, signore. Vivare a babordo.
So I'm gonna shoot at the Kirovs.
Incrociatore leggero. Bussola. 2, 0. 13.000 metri. Nemico colpito.
And if I can get a cap, that would be great. I have not played any bombers, no. I haven't really played... Well, I actually have played some aircraft, but nothing... I haven't played any mid-tier propeller-driven aircraft. Played some low-tier to get the new Italian floatplane. Played some high-tier, trying to get closer to the Japanese F-16. Realizing that I'm really not good at playing high-tier jets.
Bersaglio individuato. Incrociatore leggero.
Gonna try and knock out the guns on that Krim.
9.000 metri!
Not that I really expect it to do a lot of damage to me, but I just want to lessen it.
Per riparazione delle parti. Nuotare gli scompartimenti allagati.
Colpito!
Timone a babordo.
Sì, signore! Virare a babordo!
Abbiamo subito danni! Nemico colpito! Incrociatore leggero! Bussola! 240! 7.000 metri!
He's crawling closer to the cap. Hopefully I can get it before Carlton does.
240! 7.000 metri!
Because it would be a nice amount of extra RP and SL. I don't like those turrets looking my direction. But I'll just keep going forward.
Bersaglio!
That is a human Helena.
Bersaglio
That is just a
individuato.
human Helena.
Incrociatore leggero.
6.000 metri!
In other words, actual threat. I just want my capture point, man.
Timone a babordo!
Sì, signore! Virare a babordo!
Bersaglio colpito! Colpo diretto! Incrociatore leggero! Bussola! 2, 3,
Controllo dei danni per riparazione delle parti! Svuotare gli scompartimenti allagati! Timone a tribordo!
Virare a tribordo!
So close.
abbiamo subito danni!
So
Controllo
close to the
dei
cap.
danni per riparazione delle parti! Ripristinare l'integrità della seduta stadia! Riparare le parti! Iniziare il
And this is where I really wish I just had AP.
Siamo stati colpiti! Sotto la linea di galleggiamento!
Bersaglio colpito! Colpo diretto!
Okay, I have to slow down so I can actually stay in the cap. I need to stop the flooding. Repairs can stop now because I don't need them. But I need to stop flooding.
a poppa!
Peace up. I'll mark that target again.
Timone a mezza nave!
Timone a mezza nave!
Controllo dei danni per riparazione
We're
delle
on fire, and it's one of the turrets that gets on fire.
l'integrità della seduta stadia!
The fact that the broken ammo elevator now means you don't reload that gun, I don't like that. Because it wasn't noted in the dev notes, or on the patch notes. And it really should be.
abbiamo subito danni critici!
Controllo dei danni per riparazione delle parti!
I was most certainly on fire, but I don't have FP. So I couldn't put it out.
Massima velocità! Controllo dei
Don't worry, I could hear the alarm as well.
bersaglio individuato!
There's not much I could do about it.
Incrociatore leggero!
Bussola! 2, 0, 0!
Timone, tirare tutto a babordo!
Like now, and one of my secondary turrets is on fire, but yeah. That's just gonna have to keep burning.
Individuato! Incrociatore pesante!
7.000 metri! Postazione di riparazione! Abbiamo subito danni critici!
Motori, arresto totale!
Nemico colpito!
Controllo dei danni per riparazione delle parti! Svuotare gli scompartimenti allagati!
Il nemico si inclina e perde velocità! Bersaglio colpito! Danni critici!
Do you have torpedoes?
State
What is the range on them?
Taglio individuato!
4 kilometers? Yeah, that's not nearly far enough.
5.000 metri!
I could try. Although it's just 2 of them.
Timone, a mezza nave!
The victory is near.
Timone a mezza nave! Sì, signore!
Calare le cadute di salvataggio! Abbandonare la nave!
Siamo stati colpiti! Sotto la
No,
linea di
that is
galleggiamento!
broken, so I can't launch other torpedoes.
Siluro partito.
Compartimento completamente allagato!
There we go. Now to use Savoia, which actually has AP shells. Oh boy. Enemy Des Moines.
Incrociatore pesante! Bussola! 2, 4, 0! 8.000 metri!
Posti di combattimento! Nemici
Shall we try an Amorak to Des Moines?
Timone a
I
tribordo!
think that'd be a fun idea.
Bersaglio individuato! Incrociatore pesante!
I'm just capturing C.
4, 0! 8.000 metri!
That was surprisingly close.
Bersaglio colpito!
Naval RB probably not too good if you put them against blue water ships, not too good. Hey, you put them against coastals, as long as they have a decent deck armament, yeah, we're fine. Oops, something detonated it.
Nemico si inclina e perde velocità.
Yeah, I think these shells are just not quite good enough at detonating Des Moines. I think you need another heavy cruiser for it to really work.
Virare a babordo.
Colpo diretto. Nemico colpito.
A few more crew compartments in the rear of that ship. There we go, 4%. One more salvage just to finish it off. There we go.
8000 metri. Sì, nemico distrutto.
Il nemico si inclina e perde velocità.
Bersaglio individuato. Incrociatore pesante.
240. 7000 metri.
Yes, this is something that's actually still up.
Timone! Tirare tutto a tribordo!
Tutto a tribordo! Sì, signore!
But Helena's pretty low on crews, let's try and take that out.
Timone a mezza nave! Sì, signore!
Timone a tribordo!
Ponte TS7. Sul radar. Bombardiere.
Avanti!
11.000 metri. In avvicinamento.
Bersaglio individuato!
Go.
Pesante!
Bussola. 2.
Let's just keep going around this island. This is Des Moines shooting at something. An AI destroyer.
Nave nemica affrontata.
And we really need to help now as that. But the Eugen is a bit too heavily angled for me to really deal with him.
7.000 metri.
I say just as he's straightening out.
Controllo dei danni per riparazione delle parti! Svuotare gli scompartimenti allagati! Riparare le parti!
Pretty damaged Eugen.
Controllo dei danni!
So I'll just keep going straight. If I get around this island again, I might be able to finish him off.
Colpo diretto. Abbiamo subito dosi.
I would like that engine back pretty quickly though. That is a Des Moines again, probably a backup.
Virare a babordo.
Bersaglio individuato! Incrociatore pesante!
220. 12.000 metri.
So we want to shoot the front of this Eugen, because I think that was the undamaged part.
Incrociatore pesante!
Bussola.
Never mind.
7.000 metri.
I think I'm actually going to head towards A. Try and capture it.
Incrociatore leggero.
Got quite a bit of time left.
200. 9.000 metri.
Yep, now we just do the boring part of playing naval. Well, this map is also just not the best. The cruiser just can only spawn down here, I think. Actually, could they spawn? No, just down here. Most people just fight around the closest capture point. For some reason. So we'll just slowly make our way over to A. Because the mine is actually following us by the looks of it.
200. 9.000 metri.
We have a battleship in North Dakota. I think the new smoke does look really good for cinematic purposes. Well, I think that's actually a better look. But it does get a bit in the way of your vision. Like, if I look like this, I have no clue that there's actually an island there. Like, none at all until I zoom in. Oop, the mine has spotted something. That is somebody who's has a plan. But I have a sneak suspicion it's not a good plan.
Sì, signore. Virare a tribordo.
Really there? Oh, I guess I do have to move there. The good tactics for beginning blue water is for certain America. Is probably the best one to go with. Because they have a very high rate of fire, pretty tanky ships later on. I think they're definitely the best choice, America. Britain isn't the worst, although their destroyers are not as forgiving. It's all pretty fragile. Britain has a very strong reserve destroyer of HMS Vega.
Nave da pattuglia.
I'm shocked that this Newport News is just following me.
12.000 metri.
Like, I'm clearly going to get to the cap first. Yeah, but the K2 is difficult to play. I wouldn't recommend it for a beginner to naval. Although the German tactics in itself isn't bad. Just if you want to have strong ships, it's definitely America. Germany isn't the worst. They're a bit. Britain has a very strong opener with the Vega and actually even the 4Os as well. The Brisenden and the other one.
Launching an attack.
But what I would recommend you do is if you're looking for the big name ships, pretty much all of them is what you want. But I think the American Navy is probably the best choice you can go for. If you don't know what navy to go for, just the American Navy won't go bad. Like in terms of future proofing, they have tons of ships they could add. Both being like submarines, modern ships, aircraft carriers if you want to go there. America has tons of them. Battleships, America still has tons of as well. You can't go bad with America if that's your first nation. The one thing you do have to be careful though is that if you pick the Americans as your first naval tree, all the other naval trees will look bad in comparison. Because the Americans are really easy to play.
Timone a babordo.
Sì, signore. Virare a babordo.
Third person here? Okay. Don't know why it's spawning. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave space for this Des Moines to join. Yep. Also, if you're like... If you're totally new to naval and you don't understand how the things work in it, don't be too worried. Especially when it comes to the aiming system and stuff. If you really don't understand how the aiming system works, I recommend you just go in a task sail and try it out. Like just turn in circles and try and... Yeah, I know it's a small capture point. Although this one isn't... Is it that small? Pretty small. I want to wait for the LS4, but I don't think the Des Moines is going to wait. So I'm just going full steam ahead. Yes, that's true. Ooh. Where did those torpedoes come from? Targets, all targets.
Tutto a babordo.
Where did those torpedoes come from? It was from a guy I sank ages ago. Those were some dangerous torpedoes. Yeah, Des Moines, you're gonna collide into me. Cap is right here, my friend. Could there be... No, there's nothing here. Ah, yeah.
Motori, arresto totale.
A little more effort and victory will be ours.
Can the LS4 get in? Where did the LS4 go? Oh, he's right. Yeah, he's right behind us. The LS4 is still in, I think.
13.000 metri.
Or barely not. I don't know.
Another zone captured. We have the advantage.
He didn't get a cap. Nope. LS4 wasn't in. Badge.
Timone a babordo.
Sì, signore. Virare a babordo.
But yeah, probably the most important button you're buying is the rangefinder thing. I can't really show it when I'm not looked onto the target, but yeah. So yeah, you have something bound that makes this range
Taglio
go up and down
Incrociatore
when you
pesante.
want it to. If you're playing realistic, it is.
11.000 metri.
It's pretty important to have something bound for that. The thing is though, you can aim with your cursor. As you can see, if I just put my cursor up and down, it'll change the range as well. It's just a lot more difficult.
Timone a mezza nave.
Timone a mezza nave. Sì,
Oh.
signore. Quasi colpito.
Bersaglio
We have a
individuato. Nave da pattugliare.
SKR trying to go to B.
7.000 metri.
There goes the enemy Des Moines, got detonated.
Quasi colpito! Bersaglio colpito!
Ponte TSF sul radar. Avanti. 7.000 metri. In avvicinamento. Colpo diretto. Abbiamo difficoltà.
Just a little more effort, and victory will surely be ours.
Il nemico si inclina e perde velocità. Colpo diretto.
And that is a victory.
Nessun nemico in vista. Area di battaglia
There should be a
libera.
decent amount of
Missione
RP really to my ships. Got 2 caps. A victory, a few kills. Or a few targets destroyed. Sunk, whatever the hell you call it. Yep, that is a good chunk of RP. And got my AP shells on Montecuccoli. FPE, can also get that, that's lovely. And road replacement next. I don't know, I've actually never played naval with a controller. I should actually try that one day. Actually playing naval on a controller. There isn't really that many buttons you have to use. Like you have your 3 repairs. You have the shell types. Maybe switching between your armament groups. And torpedoes. Depth charges as well, of course, but I mean, that's about it. I think you can all put and then your throttle. But it should be stuff easy enough to do on a controller. Yeah, one more battle with this and I'll go back to the French ships. And there we go, final battle. Northport. Not the worst map for... Getting Northport in 5-7 cruisers is really weird. Oh, we're on this side. That's a shame, because we have to get all the way around this little peninsula. Oh, that's a bit annoying. 9. Montecuccoli is faster, but I want to fade waivers, and you need to get AP shells. There we go. I want to put some more RP into Savoia first.
Preparare la nave alla battaglia. Motori
Did I actually get a full down there? With 5-7 cruisers? Oh boy. This will be interesting then.
Cacciatorpediniere 340, 13.000 metri.
Posti di combattimento.
Yeah, it is.
Bersaglio individuato.
What map did I have banned again for naval?
340,
I do have one. I keep forgetting which one it is. Because of course I never see it. SATA, okay.
Thank you!
So yeah, we got a full down there. Or 7. Interesting.
Bersaglio individuato. Incrociatore leggero.
Bussola 320.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
SATA's already been dealt with.
Bersaglio individuato. Cacciatorpediniere.
There are actually more buttons on the ship than I think there are, aren't there?
12.000 metri.
Of course, the zooming in, shell types, weapon groups, torpedoes, repairs, tow hooks, AI targets.
Cacciatorpediniere 340,
Now,
12.000 metri.
I should be fighting for A.
Bersaglio individuato.
And I actually, yeah, you know what, I will, but I'm going to go towards here. I'm going to be helping defend A, but I'm not going to be the one capturing A.
Timone a tribordo.
Sì, signore. Virare a tribordo.
The Japanese tech tree is really unforgiving all the way up to 5-7. Like, the Japanese tech tree nowadays is not an easy grind. I was lucky because I spaded them all back when they were actually really good. Well, good enough. Nowadays, that is just not the case. The 140 mils don't do any damage. The Japanese destroyers hardly do any damage. Then you have the Agano, which is hardly 5-3 worthy. Oh, in arcade, yes, you have the torpedoes, but the Italian tech tree is almost similar. Although their destroyers are more forgiving because they'll actually deal damage, although they have a slow reload. Italian cruisers are alright, I guess, although yeah, even the same thing, like until 5-3, kind of not the best. Could be worse though, because the destroyers are actually usable for Italy. But like the 4-7, 5-0 cruisers for Italy are not that good. But then from 5-3 onwards you have some of the best cruisers in game. According to some people.
Bersaglio individuato. Cacciatorpediniere.
340.
Just gonna keep getting closer. Our summoner is just on the run because he's getting engaged by 2 heavy cruisers. Which is perfectly reasonable. Pola, yes.
320. 12.000 metri.
I think Italy probably does have the best heavy cruisers in game.
Bussola 320. 12.000 metri.
I think that's the case.
Keep it up, and victory will be ours.
Who are these people? Dayton and... Who would have guessed it's a zombie? But these are not your usual zombies. They're not gonna breach in the first salvo, of course. Because they're actually accurate. They're the old sniping zombies. Well, sniping bots, not zombies technically then.
Controllo degli scompartimenti in fiamme.
No, no, it doesn't. I would not say that Des Moines is a better heavy cruiser than the Pola, mainly because it just detonates when somebody looks at it funny. But you really don't understand how big of a negative point it is that you can be easily unwreckable.
Taglio individuato. Incrociatore leggero.
I will say it's easier to unwreck a Des Moines with a heavy cruiser than it is with a light cruiser. But it's still a very big weakness.
8000 metri!
Timone a tribordo.
Sì, signore. Tirare a tribordo.
Nemico colpito! Quasi colpito! Nemico colpito! Colpo diretto!
Keep it up and
I don't know. I haven't. I haven't seen. I don't. There's armor changes for Des Moines and
Colpo diretto!
Newport News, but I don't know what they are. They don't seem to be anything meaningful. Unless somebody can physically tell me what the number changes are, I don't really care. Shell room and magazine is a different thing. That's a different thing.
Nemico!
The magazine on the Des Moines is really easy to just detonate. That's why if anybody asks me whether I recommend getting the Des Moines, I'd say no, get the Helena instead. The Helena is tankier,
8000 metri!
whilst being roughly equal in firepower anyways.
Tutto a tribordo.
Tutto a bordo. Sì, signore.
Nemico colpito!
Motori tutto a posto.
It depends on the coastal vessels. It really depends on the coastal vessels.
Sì, signore.
The coastal trees I would recommend grinding are Japan, Italy, and Russia. The others, not really, unless you're really dedicated. Italy, because it has an anti-air missile in it, as its top coastal vessel, is a ship, well, a boat, with 5 anti-air missiles, is really funny. Russia, because they have very good PT boats and decent frigates as well. And Japan, because I think they're one of the smoothest grinds, because they go from 2-3 PT boats, which is really the highest BR of PT boats you ever want to play, straight to frigates. And frigates are alright.
6000 metri!
Like,
Bersaglio individuato.
America is just not worth it because they don't have good high-tier coastal vessels.
6000 metri!
Germany is
a little more effort and
kind of worth it if you manage to get past
Dietro tutta.
rank 4, which is difficult. I find them a bit of a pain to grind through. Britain also has good frigates, but the grind to the frigates is really annoying. So yeah. Russia,
Timone.
Italy and Japan are probably the only real coastal trees I would recommend you try and get.
Nemico distrutto! Il nemico si inclina e perde velocità!
Motori arresto totale.
Sì, signore. Tirare a tribordo.
Nemico colpito!
Motori arresto totale.
Yeah, because they're top tier. Even though that's the reason why I do not recommend grinding stuff like America, because their top tier coastal vessels just cannot fight destroyers.
Colpito!
The Russian ones can't really, but they're really good against other coastal vessels. Italy, funny missile boat, and Japan, they're all frigates, they can fight the destroyers. Aren't the torpedoes in PT-15 still really good? They should be still really good, from what I remember. Like they're really fast. The payload is a bit on the lower end, but it's still good. I would have guessed that bots and heavy cruisers wouldn't really be all that good.
Timone a tribordo.
Incrociatore leggero. Bussola. 2-0.
Sumner now is able to capture A in peace. If he's able to do this in time is another question.
Tutto a babordo. Sì, signore.
I haven't played the Italian Albatross because I have nothing to grind in Italy coastal anymore. But I've heard it's not all that good. I actually need to take a look at it in the hangar again. But I don't think it has any form of AP shells, and that's an immediate no for ships of that BR. If you go past 2.3 and you have no armor piercing shells, that's just not a good... just no.
Abbiamo subito danni.
I think our Sumner is just not going to be in time to capture A.
Sì, signore. Virare a tribordo. Incrociatore leggero. 2-0. 3000 metri.
This is kind of lame. Only 2 enemy cruisers went this way.
Timone.
Okay, now our Sumner has time to cap... well, no.
Tutto a babordo.
It still doesn't. Unless they decapture C it somehow.
Nessun nemico in vista. Area di battaglia libera.
A good chunk of RP. And let's get some speed upgrades. Yeah, the Albatross. The Italian one. 3.7. A high rate of fire 76s, but no AP or SAP. So immediately useless. Yeah. Yes. But not for what you'd expect. Float planes are good for getting capture points. Especially the ship-based ones. I never really see much point in trying to use a float plane, actually. Italy just got a new one. There's not much point in using a float plane as your actual aircraft spawn, because you usually want to use your aircraft spawns to strike a ship instead of... well, capturing point is worth it. But it depends on how high a BR you want to use certain planes. Let's look at the Des Moines. Because somebody is asking about the armor. Somebody being a subsea. That's Baltimore, that's not Des Moines. Click, no, I can't. There it is. $138 Barbettes. 147 belt. Again, I don't know what the old values were, so I don't know if this is like an improvement or not. It has a anti-frag deck. Also, the shell room is pretty low on the ship. So it's like, yeah, it's right here above the belt. I don't actually like hover over the ready ammo anymore. Although it does say if you actually hover over the turret how much ready ammo is in there. Yep, there it is. What does this ammo number refer to? No clue. Oh, is it number of shells per gun? That could... no, that still doesn't make sense. Oh, well, hold on. Ready ammo plus the... that'd be 720. Yeah, that makes sense. So the ammo counter is the ammo per gun. That's weird. Let me look at the Helena per bet. because I don't actually know. In preview. And the Barbettes like this. Still pretty low compared to the turret. That's the Helena Barbette. I was like, what's your Barbette armor? 152. It's thicker than it is on the Newport News, right? Yeah. Ah, but the part above the ship is 154. Oh well. Let's do another match of the French boats. Fiji again. Please don't be an up tier to 5-7. There really shouldn't be. I actually genuinely ran into a person that said that the French tree should be a sub-tree of Britain, and that was such a weird conversation. That's such a weird person as well.
À vos postes de combat. Moteur, pleine puissance. Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord, terminé. Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant.
But I'm really looking forward to what the French tree will offer.
Ennemi détecté.
And I'm hoping that with the French tree we'll get another like big update for Naval with another push towards higher top tier stuff. The next step for top tier. That reminds me, April Fool's event is drawing closer as well. And I'm really curious what's going to be this year. Hopefully it's not going to be another like reference to a movie. I mean, they're not really that lacking Hydra stuff, is there? I don't know how good these turrets were, but they should be fine in War Thunder.
Croiseur lourd. À l'avant.
It's a full up tier 5-7, damn it. I just heard a French commander call out a heavy cruiser, and that's not something I want to hear at this PR. Unless it's a Kako. With a Kako I can deal.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Ennemi touché.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
3, 4, 8000 mètres.
Yeah, I think generally the French tree should be a pretty fun one. If the Aigle and the Duguay-Trouin are anything to go by, it should be a pretty fun naval tree.
Barre à bâbord.
Also, is my rangefinder just completely wrong? I mean, Myokos are premium cruisers, like, not something
Moteur,
you often to
entier.
begin with. I still need to get my own Myoko. I just don't really want to spend more money than I already have.
1000 mètres.
Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord.
Good old Moffat detonation.
Vaisseau ennemi coulé.
And also, again I'm going to repeat, this shell is not a time fuse shell, it's a base fuse shell that's just wrongly named.
The enemy is winning.
Just in case you're curious how I just detonated a Moffat with a TF shell. Just has the wrong name.
Tribord, toute.
À tribord, toute. Terminé.
Let's try and get closer to sea.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 3, 2, 0. 4000 mètres.
Croiseur
The crew just called out a destroyer at this bearing 4 kilometers away.
Croiseur léger.
3-2-0.
If I heard him correctly, at least.
The enemy has captured most of the strategic zones.
I also assume that that's a coastal vessel
Barre à bâbord.
on sea.
barre à bâbord.
Yep.
Terminé. Contre-torpilleur. À bâbord. 9000 mètres.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur lourd.
3-2-0. C'est une
The heavy cruiser getting closer. 7,000 meters away now. Did Set 47 had something to change logs? Don't really know. Well, if you can find whatever it was in the changelog, I'll take a look at it after this battle.
We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
I'll take a look at it after the battle. Although I find the patch notes like corrected, it's so vague. What do you mean with it? Are they lowered? Are they raised? More left, more right? I don't really bother looking at the differences between the live server and the dev server. Because if they can't be bothered to really tell us what changed, then it is usually not really big and significant enough a change.
Cible identifiée.
And that's the enemy heavy cruiser I've been hearing getting closer.
3-2-0.
That's no bueno. The Pola as well, oh boy.
À bâbord. 6000 mètres.
Barre à bâbord.
What I'm going to do is decap C and rush towards B. I do not want to hang around close to a Pola. I'm actually going to empty the barrels of the base fuel shells. God, there's so many cruisers.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur léger.
3-0-0. 4000 mètres.
What do I have behind me? A rally. This is not going to end well.
Croiseur léger. À bâbord. 2000 mètres.
Yeah, I want that ammo elevator because it actually disables repairs, well, reloads now, so... Thing is, you can actually ammo rack a Pola, I think. Although I doubt you can from this range.
Ennemi touché.
So, call is just a decap. And immediately turn around to be.
We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
Cible touchée.
We're running from hard turn now. Decapture C. Ouch.
Contrôle des dégâts aux équipes anti-incendie. Contrôlez les compartiments.
I think I do not have the turn radius to actually make this.
Au fond dangereux devant.
I will have to do it in 2 times then.
Croiseur léger.
That's another Deguet shooting at me.
2000 mètres.
Contre-torpilleur. À tribord. 2000 mètres.
Tout le monde. Moteur gravement endommagé.
No, keep going forward.
Nous avons subi des dégâts.
Keep going forward.
Somebody attack him.
Cible
To put out the fire before I detonate, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, just... I'm fine. We're fine.
en arrière. Toutes.
Tout le monde. Nous avons subi des dégâts critiques. Ennemi touché. Ah.
Should be out of the firing zone for most of these cruisers now, but I'm running myself
3, 2,
almost aground.
3000 mètres.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 5000 mètres.
Frappe directe. Navire ennemi en feu. Bravo.
Contrôle des dégâts au groupe de réparation. Pompez l'eau des
I think, have I actually run myself? I have actually run myself aground. God darn it.
Commencez à contrôler les dégâts.
Tout le monde. Nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
Barre à bâbord.
Barre à bâbord. Terminé.
Moteur. En arrière. Tout.
Croiseur lourd. À
Position 3, 2, 0. 3000 mètres.
Barre à tribord, tous.
Then continuously looking at my engines doesn't help though.
Enemy is winning. Counterattack.
Tout le monde, moteur gravement endommagé. Appareil hors service.
Incendie!
Come on, what am I stuck on? I'm stuck on some kind of reef.
Aux équipes anti-incendie. Contrôlez les compartiments en feu. Barre au milieu du navire.
Barre au milieu du navire! Terminé!
Poste de réparation, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques. Vaisseau échoué.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur léger.
Position 3, 2, 0. 3000 mètres.
Contrôle des dégâts à vos postes.
Croiseur léger! À l'avant!
Where did that shell go? Who knows?
Poste de réparation, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
I just want to get off this shallow water.
Croiseur lourd. À l'arrière. 3000 mètres.
Moteur.
Cible touchée par les obus.
We should be good now.
Dégâts critiques.
Should be good.
Partie endommagée sur le point de céder. Au fond dangereux devant.
Croiseur léger. À l'avant. 2000 mètres.
Barre à bâbord.
I'm stuck on this rock, like right here. I can't get myself off of it.
Moteur. En arrière. Toutes.
Well, hello there.
Barre à tribord. Toutes.
À tribord, tout.
Poste de réparation, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques. Frappe directe.
Circulation sous la ligne de partisan!
I'm just stuck on a rock and I cannot get myself out of here. Yep, see you later.
Moteur. Pleine puissance.
Poste de réparation, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
Barre au milieu du navire.
Barre au milieu du navire!
Now surely I should be free, right?
Cible touchée par les obus.
Come on.
Croiseur léger! À l'avant! 2000 mètres!
Ugh. Why do you even get this map to 5-7, man?
Contrôle des dégâts au groupe de réparation. Pompez l'eau des compartiments inondés. Maintenant.
Poste de réparation, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
Like, this is just
Cible en feu.
painful.
Croiseur léger. À l'arrière. 2000 mètres.
I shouldn't be stuck on that rock anymore, but it's just too shallow.
Vaisseau échoué.
Cible identifiée. Croiseur léger.
Position 3, 0, 0. 2000 mètres. Ouais, ennemi touché.
Well, my ship is doing really weird stuff right now.
Nous avons subi des dégâts
It shouldn't be bouncing up and down like that. What am I stuck on?
Bâbord. Toutes.
Come on.
À bâbord! Toutes! Terminé!
There we go.
Réparation. Commencez à contrôler les dégâts. Barre à tribord.
And all the maneuvering will cost us a game. Because it drained me of almost all my crew because of the multiple engagements. And the tickets bleed is just going to be too fast for me to counter now. And there we go.
À tribord! Toutes!
Can that Zippo get into B on time?
More pressure.
No, is the question, is the answer.
Croiseur lourd! À l'avant! 1000 mètres!
It is, because they're bots.
Détecté dans le compartiment!
They're not players in Krasny Krims, they're bots as well.
de réparation, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
Krims or Kafkas. This is a killer loading screen. With apparently that's not supposed to be Nevada and the Des Moines. Killer loading screen. But I basically cost us that game by getting stuck somehow. There we go. Well, that was a decent chunk of a cell, wasn't it? Yep, almost 50,000. Yes, that's 47. Thanks for reminding me, because I do keep forgetting about stuff like that. We were looking at Z47. That ammo is way above the waterline. Like head and shoulders, like the waterline is here. That is, oof. Same true for the rear magazine as well. And there was something about radio control room. It's probably just fire control room. Oh, yeah, it's probably that one that got changed as well then. Nevada is just an anti-air Arizona with less guns. Similar armament. I think even the armor is pretty same. 343 and tapering down to like 203. 25mm extra belt there. Turtle back of 38mm. Off-road plating of 330. Barbettes of 330. Magazines that are like just below the waterline, but the shell room is just above it. Lots and lots of anti-air, of course. And if you compare that to the Arizona, nope, not that sale. The same, ooh, kind of better armor thickness actually. The taper is not as severe. I think the Nevada is actually slightly better, because this looks a lot closer to the waterline. Actually, this, it's slightly above the waterline as well, isn't it? And does it have this turtle back? It doesn't. So, well, this is part of the external armor. I've got to check. For some reason, I think the Nevada is actually better armored. It is, well, it is and it isn't, because the Arizona is the succeeding class to the Nevada. It's just that the Nevada has an anti-air refit. Yeah, I think, yeah, the ammo for Nevada is just below the waterline. Like the waterline is right here. So it's just below it. Also in the Arizona, the ammo is just above the waterline. So if you're not too sad about losing just 2 guns, I think the Nevada is definitely a good choice. Also, does it get a scout plane? It does get a scout plane. Let's actually test out it. Just because why not?
Prepare the ship for battle.
The ready rack on the 5-inch guns are nowhere near any actual magazine. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. It'll just blow up the turret like it always does in ships.
Ahead!
2,000 meters.
Action stations. Enemy spotted.
There's actually any... Don't see anything near that ammunition. It could potentially chain to it. It isn't directly below it, it's way below it. Like, an explosion of that ready ammo is not going to detonate the ammo below there. Oh yeah, it does have radar as well. Yeah, no, the ready rack ammo detonation is not going to detonate all the way down there. A fire could possibly spread down there, that's for sure. I don't think a detonation will. So that's actually...
Target identified. Destroyer.
Bearing.
I'll actually launch a catapult as well.
5,000
Yeah.
meters.
The thing is though, these are the exact same guns in Arizona. So, same reload. Also, I love how the sound cutting off bug is back again. Because why wouldn't it be? The new orbit feature, good that you remind me because I'll actually show it to you. Meantime, what is the Something isn't quite right there. Something is not quite right there. Well. Of course. That is... Oh, actually... Why am I reloading a scout plane? Does Arizona have a spare? I'm just gonna... Hold on. That's... Oh... Does Arizona doesn't have a spare, so why is it reloading a plane?
Man your posts.
I'm gonna take a ship with an aircraft catapult that does work. So just give me a second. Also, that was a really nice loading screen as well with the 141. Let's go with one of these cruisers. Right? Yeah. Pola, but yeah, too late. I went with another American cruiser.
Action stations, man your posts.
Yeah, it might just recharge the planes anyways in the test sail.
Fighter! Ahead! 2,000 meters!
Action station, enemy spotted. Air attack alert.
At least this one launches properly. Let's just fly high enough to ditch these bombs. And if I press H, it'll automatically just orbit. It'll level off and orbit. It is a very large turning circle though. As you can see, it's a very large circle. But it does work, and if I go back to the ship, it stays circling. So it is neat to be added. I'm not sure. I don't have the Russian dreadnoughts. No, yeah, actually, I generally don't know how good the Russian dreadnoughts are nowadays. Also, I would love to actually know what the distance is right now to my own ship. Is there a way I can do this? Not really. But yeah, this is now a feature that's added. It doesn't go to a fixed altitude, so if I go up a bit, it's somewhere around here and I'll level off for it. It'll level itself up so it doesn't lose altitude or gain any, or try to at least. I'll just fly at that altitude. I think it is a pretty neat feature if you have like a... Hold on, let me go back to the hangar and get a Japanese ship. Oh, is it 2 boxes? Okay. Let me go to something Japanese with a fast plane. Does the Magani have ether? Actually, let's just take the Agano because I know what Scotland this one has. I don't think it'll be too much longer. I very much expect Bismarck this year, at the very least. Because we already have 15-inch ships. We just need to get the Bismarck. Let's launch this plane. This one's just a bit faster. Let's drop the weight. Because what you could now do with this function is actually use your scout plane for scouting. Like you could fly it up really high. Well, 2,000 meters or something. I could, but the map doesn't tell me any ranges. I don't know what the range on the boxes are. I could, you know what? I'll probably do it off stream on a test drive. Oh no, on a custom battle, where I do have the range, the distance markings on the boxes. Jeez, my English. And I'll just calculate it and I'll mention it in the summary video I'll do in the update, because I do still plan on making a summary video. So you just put it up all the way up high, and you just leave it to circle. Because what you can do now is just leave it there to circle, do ship stuff, and you think, let's say, okay, I'm in combat, I sink a few ships. Okay, I'm out of combat, what is the battlefield like? You can just jump in, you don't have to control the plane, and just look around. Okay, I see a battleship over there, I see cruisers over here. Okay, I know what to do, jump right back in. Like, the circling feature is actually good if you want to do recon stuff. Because it means that your plane will just stay roughly in the same spot. Yeah, actually let me see how low I can go. Like if it'll try to climb to a certain altitude. Let's try not to rip my wings off in this plane. Let's do something like this. Yeah, it'll orbit at low altitude as well. If I leave, does it want to go up though? Yes, it does want to go up. Because that's just part of the AI programming to go, if you leave it, to just go up to a certain altitude. But it does keep circling. It keeps circling, but it isn't pitching down. Okay, let's go, yeah. So you might want to be careful with that. You do it at low altitude, but now it'll just stay at that altitude. Nope, it's pitching up again. I think it's confused because it's at a different altitude than where I started from. Let's do it now. Oh, did it dive down ever so slightly? Well, let's stay now. No, it's pitching up again. Still some weird stuff in the coding for these scout planes. Ooh, that could be useful, yeah. But the thing is, yeah, it'll try to climb up. By the looks of it. Yeah. Now you can actually, if it doesn't want to pitch up again, just leave your scout plane somewhere. And if you're like, okay, I'm out of combat, I want to move, but I don't know what the situation is in the battle, you just jump back into the plane, look at the battle, and just you don't have to just... plane is doing weird stuff. But yeah, you don't have to continuously be aware that it doesn't fly into the enemies or fly outside of the map. Is that thing going straight into the ocean? Nope, it left. No, it's still. No, it leveled off. Nope, it's going back up again. It's doing weird stuff. But that's about it, really. Are there any other things I really needed to showcase? On the naval side of things, there's not much else. That I can see. I'm just reading through, just reading over the patch notes again. Just taking a glance at it. Allegedly, the Limbo mortars now work on all of these British frigates, but I've heard from other people that it still doesn't really work. Ooh, wasn't it fixed last update? Abruzzi's armor? It was because the shells like weren't in the armor, were they? Yeah, now they clearly are. Like, if you look at the windows, the shells are behind this window. The armor is right there as well, really? Are they still outside of it? If I follow that rib, in between those two ribs. Quite sure, really. Oh well. Yeah, that's really all there is to it. I'll play one more battle with the Frenchies, and then we'll leave it at that for tonight. Yeah, if I see people link me data mines and stuff, I'll talk about it. There was one thing that was actually data mined in the dev server. That was more code for like the rocket launchers on the hood, which really annoys me because I want those to work, but they just don't. New Zealand Cape at 4.7. This is going to be an up tier again, isn't it? Oh. Just gonna wait and see what kind of teammates spawn. Well, Phoenix spawns. Well, plays with us for the last match. Portland is already 5-3. Oh, well. I actually want to take the egg that I'm going to go to A. It's like more fun. Moffat, Gearing, Frank Knox. Belfast, full up tier. Woohoo.
Barre à bâbord. Barre à bâbord, terminé. Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 12 000 mètres.
Branle-bas de combat. Ennemi détecté.
Contre-torpilleur. À tribord. 13 000 mètres.
These are zombie Tashkents anyways, so I don't mind running into them. As you can clearly tell, 72 battles, 30 kills, that is not a human player. I have heard that a lot of people are crashing, like the game is crashing for a lot of people playing Naval. But if that's Phoenix just leaving the match because it's not a good map, he needs to talking to.
Identifié. Contre-torpilleur.
The botting issues are just insane. Like, I want to bet that I am the only player left in this match. Genuinely. Let's actually take a look. Paula. Let's narrow it down to Blue Water Fleet. Paula, 300. Yeah, that's not a human player. I'm sorry, but it isn't. Nope. So the Paula isn't human. Is the Frank Knox human? Possibly. How have you played 14 battles and have... Huh? How is that possible? How have you played 14 battles and have 52 respawns? What? What does it mean? Also, I'm just gonna wants to be the spread. The spreads aren't operational, of course. That Tashkent we've already checked. That Tashkent, I already know. There's a Belfast one. Of course it isn't. It's the Moffat one. No. So yeah, I think I'm the only player left in this match.
Incendie. Contrôlez les compartiments en feu.
What is actually spamming me to death at the moment? It's just these zombie Tashkents, all of them.
Tout le monde, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
Like, the enemies could be more players, of course, but my team is all zombies. And I'm already dead. Probably shouldn't have been looking at all stat cards, but I do not care at this point.
Appareil hors service.
This is Frank Knox one.
Incendie au sein des machines.
Sortez les canons de sauvetage. Menez le navire maintenant.
Actually, that is
Préparation sous la ligne de flottaison.
that is possibly a human, but who on earth plays 860 battles in a Frank Knox? And nothing else? Very strange.
Contre-torpilleurs. À tribord. 14.
Yeah, that seems impossible.
Ennemi détecté.
Was it this guy?
À bord, toutes.
À bâbord. Toutes. Terminé.
Barre au milieu du navire.
Barre au milieu du navire.
Yeah, it's this guy. So 14 battles played, 52 respawns. That is physically impossible.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 8000 mètres.
Yeah.
Identifié. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 8-0. 8000 mètres.
I really wish Gaijin would take a more
Moteur.
hardline approach with these bots, man. They really should. Like, they're trying to fix it with in-game mechanics, but it doesn't fix it. You need to start actually banning these accounts.
Cible touchée par les obus. À direct. Navire ennemi en feu. À direct.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 5000 mètres.
Frappe direct.
Okay.
Cible touchée par les obus. Ah.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 1-0-0. 4000 mètres.
Contrôle des dégâts à vos postes. Barre au milieu du navire.
Barre au milieu du navire. Terminé.
I'm just gonna go around this little island here.
Arrière.
Oh,
15
little.
mètres.
It's a pretty big one.
Cible presque.
Barre à bâbord, toutes.
À bâbord. Toutes. Terminé.
Nous avons subi des dégâts.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Position 1-0-0. 4000 mètres.
Moteur léger. À l'arrière. 14 000 mètres.
Tout le monde. Moteur gravement endommagé. Appareil hors service.
Incendie. Incendie au sein des machines.
Contrôle des dégâts aux équipes anti-incendie. Contrôlez les compartiments en feu.
Tout le monde. Nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
Contrôle des dégâts au groupe de réparation. Pompez l'eau des compartiments inondés. Maintenant.
On this... Which one is it? Was it the Frank Knox? Or that you want to check out? Actually, no, that's just player card. 4 hours. I don't know, but that's just a graphical bug that also happened this update. Sometimes it's red, sometimes it's green, but it is.
Poste de réparation, nous avons subi des dégâts critiques.
Groupe de réparation, commencez à contrôler les dégâts.
Is it? Remember, every time you lose your ammo elevator, you can't reload anymore. What else? Well, that's only the one major bug, I guess, that got introduced.
Barre à tribord.
Barre à tribord, terminé.
Dégâts critiques.
Yeah, it's like this foam
Sur le point de céder.
graphic that got ruined somehow. Like, usually along the coast you have this foam. You can clearly see the foam there, but it's just... something happened to the PNG. Oh yeah. I don't recall how you do it. Is it in... it's not a control setting, it's in options, naval battle settings?
En arrière, tout.
I don't remember what it is. What the hell is shooting me from there? Why me? Look at all the other targets.
Barre à tribord, tout.
À
Jesus.
tribord, tout, terminé.
But I'm not spawning a third time because I know this match is already over. What is shooting me? Like, genuinely.
Contrôle des dégâts aux équipes anti-incendie. Contrôlez les compartiments en feu. Barre au milieu du navire. Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
Turrets.
1, 2, 0.
Of course, there's a Moffat right there.
Poste de réparation, nous
He
avons
just knows of my existence.
Contre-torpilleur. À l'avant. 8000 mètres.
And got detonated. Get off my screen, Moffat.
Dégâts à vos postes.
cible détruite.
That's the easy... If the zombies
Dégâts au groupe de
always use
réparation.
Moffats and Des Moines, at least they're easy to detonate.
Maintenant.
Although that person was not a zombie, that was an actual player.
Subi des dégâts critiques.
Cible identifiée. Contre-torpilleur.
After this battle, I'll show you what that option is, but I need to actually
7000 mètres.
try and survive with 16% crew now.
À bâbord, tout, terminé. Barre au milieu du 3 heures léger. À tribord. 10 000 mètres.
Dégâts critiques. Partie endommagée sur le point de céder.
What is the... pretty long fuse delay, actually. Yeah. Yeah, he most certainly did turn too late.
Barre à tribord, terminé.
The enemy's getting closer to victory.
Feu détecté sur le navire. Poste de réparation. Nous avons subi des dégâts critiques. Oui, feu détecté sur le navire ennemi.
Contre-torpilleur. À tribord. 8000 mètres.
Dégâts critiques. Partie
Come on,
endommagée
can I
sur
knock
le
out
point de
this
céder.
trash can at least? Should also contest the cap at some point, but I don't want to do that with 16% crew left.
À tribord, tout, terminé.
It's also not much point, to be honest.
Barre au
Did
milieu
a
du
Pola
navire.
just get sunk
Cible
by?
touchée par des obus.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that person his entire day already. That's an actual player. Of course, I also have a player in Degree 3.
Des dégâts critiques.
Yeah. Yeah, this match is already over.
We don't have the advantage
Okay,
anymore.
it's in controls. I don't know what that option is where it makes you like get a red background. I know what you mean. It's like an outline around these range of measurements. But I don't remember what that option is.
Vaisseau ennemi coulé.
Barre à tribord. notre torpilleur. À l'avant. 5000 mètres.
Oh boy, Fletcher.
Cible identifiée.
Rear turrets are also just nowhere near on target. There goes my bridge. And on the crew. Cowl? Okay. Nothing but premium ships for that guy, apparently.
Abandonnez le navire. Abandonnez.
And that is not where we're respawning. Game's already over. Good screenshots. Like the loading screens are always really cool. This one's pretty good looking. Found it? I'll just quickly go into Tessa and see if I can find it as well.
Préparez le
So.
navire de combat, vite.
Is it in naval battle settings? No, is it in battle interface? Yeah, player name sounds light. That's what I thought it was. Yeah, that's the one.
Cible identifiée. Bateau.
2, 8, 0. 500 mètres.
I don't really care for it much because it makes the nameplates on the team also lighter, and I don't like it.
Pas de combat. Ennemi détecté.
But it does make it a bit more, you know, better contrast. Battle interface and light. I'm putting it on dark. So yeah, that was a bit of a bummer of a match to end it on, but I think I am going to end it here for tonight. So to quickly summarize what this update is for Naval, not much. French ships are alright, although they feel weird. All the new ships are pretty alright. Some of them are not really that good. Some of them are just filler. Others are really good additions. The Italian battleship, for example, is a really nice addition. Other than that, like what I have noticed is this update was again a bit more focused on aircraft and tanks, probably. I think even more aircraft. Like there were a lot of visual changes for aircraft. Top tier jets now actually have a lot more maps that are way bigger. Stuff like that. But yeah, I'll leave it at that for tonight. Thank you for watching. I hope you've come to understand what the French pre-order ships are. And before I leave, I'll actually give you a verdict on what I would, if you should consider getting these ships. In my opinion, no. They aren't bad ships, but they aren't extremely good either. They're, at this point, they're just collector's item. There's nothing you can do with the ships at this point, other than grind out crew levels. But you might as well just use the RP from the specs for it. Not the RP, the GE, the Golden Eagles, like these 3000 GE. How much actually crew XP is that? So if I do it equally for all 5 crew slots, that is 600 times that is 9000 crew XP. From just the Golden Eagles you get from buying both packs. And even if you don't buy both packs, you can still divide it somewhat. But I will say both ships aren't bad. So if you either buy the Gué-Trouin or the Aigle, both of them should be fine. I wouldn't say that one is inherently better than the other. Also, currently I do have a bit more of a favor towards Aigle because 4-3 is a bit better for the matchmaking. Also, warning, the Gué-Trouin doesn't currently have 3 respawns, which it should have if you just buy the Gué. So if you actually want to spawn in a full battle, like use all of your naval spawns, you can only use that with the Aigle. So yeah. But I don't think they're really worth it. They're not bad ships, but you might as well just wait for the full 3. And I think, are they actually still for sale? I'll look that up when I actually make a video on them. But yeah. now I'll leave you at that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you this weekend, most likely.